Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Nerd Rage Gaming's Thursday Night Locals. My name is Brian DeVeza, and I'm here with my good buddy Adam, and we've got some fun games today. So, Adam, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Looking forward to getting a full day of casting in with some very interesting matchups in our first couple rounds, hopefully.
Yes, most definitely. And, we got some of the regular guys on here today, but we got some interesting decks here today. So, Trevor here is playing Gardevoir Bennett with some interesting text he was showing me earlier with the Brute Bonnet. And then Kev is playing Charizard EX. His build, though, is the Trolleyzard build that Isaiah Bradner actually played over the weekend in Toronto. So, when looking at both of these decks, Adam, like, which one would you think is favored? And which one do you think is like the one to really look out for tonight?
I think starting at a neutral board state, Guardy Bayonet definitely has a good matchup in Dizard, being able to lock out those rare candy Ultra Balls and whatnot. Especially since we see Kev starting with the Fez in the active here. If Trevor can establish a good setup here, which it looks like he should. I couldn't tell if it was a Ralts or a Curlier in hand. If he can get that second Ralts down and prepare for that next turn setup to get the Bayonet lock, he'll be good to go.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he does have a curly in hand, if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken. But the nice thing about this is that this deck can definitely run a little bit slower because as long as you have the attachment for turn and you have the Banette EX, you can do a lot of crazy things with it.
Yeah, historically, the Zardu Guardian matchup is definitely player dependent. It's pretty
Yes.
50-50 from my history of playing the matchup.
Yeah, like a skill matchup almost.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. It really depends on who gets that well established board in the first couple turns.
Yeah, definitely. And so we're going into Kev's turn here. And a big thing about this deck is he really likes to go second
Yeah.
just because you want to be able to plop down that trolley right away, just so you can fill up the bench. And right now, Kev is looking to grab the Rotom here. Let's see what else he has in
Yes,
hand.
Ultra Ball double
Yeah,
handy.
he's got some good stuff in hand,
So I
but
wonder if there's a world where Kev Ultra
yeah.
Balls for the fish, gets the Arvin Stone, Arvin Trolley Stone, I should say. But it looks like if Kev is seeking out the Rotom here off the rip, he might have the fish prized.
Yeah, the fish looks to be prized
Hmm.
right now. But usually I guess one thing about this deck is that you don't really mind in this matchup just having the lone Charmander just because there's no like threat to take out multiple of the baby Pokemon at once.
True. And
Yeah.
it's been very interesting testing the Trolley Zard because unless Kev changed the list a little bit from Bradner's, it's only playing one Buddy Poffin. So
Yeah.
you're pretty hyper dependent on that Trolley turn one, which it looks like I don't think Kev will be able to get off here. We're to get the Lone Charmander, Rotom Fez, and then instant charge for the three.
Definitely. And it never feels good to have
No.
to discard that rare candy just because I mean it is a pretty limited resource, but it's something that he has to do here in order to further his board state. So it
Definitely.
looks like we're going to be having just the Fez, a Charmander, and a Rotom on the board, and hopefully Kev will be able to survive this next turn without getting item locked.
And going back to that candy discard, it has some pretty major implications for later in the game. I mean, the access to Dusknoir to pop a Curlier is super major in this matchup, and having one less candy just means you're really just down to one rare candy to spare.
Yeah, definitely. And looking at this, oh, he drives the Arvin as the first card.
Arvin Pidge,
Oh, that feels so bad.
definitely.
Yeah.
We have to get the Curlier down for the first refinement. Drawing was Artisan Energy.
Yeah,
That's pretty solid.
Artisan Energy is solid because you're able to, flesh out your board a little bit more, put some more stuff down, as well as you are able to get I think there's an Ultra Ball in hand, so he's able to
Hmm.
get the Banette EX in play.
Definitely. I think that if I mean, yeah, that's a major play. Honestly,
Yeah.
gain the Bayonet down, and gain the item lock off the rip. Really, just kind of locks Kev out of the game.
Yeah.
It seems like from his hand at least. Not getting the trolley, not getting the Arvin. The Arvin won't prove to have that much value, honestly, right now as the Bayonet comes down.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm wondering if there was ever a world where Trevor decides to grab Monkey Dory off of
Sure.
the Artisan, but maybe that could be something like next turn that you're able to do just so you can start moving around those damage counters after the item lock begins.
Definitely. And I was a little bit surprised to see the second Shuppet come down rather than the second Ralts.
Yeah,
Why do you think
definitely.
Trevor elected to do that?
Probably just so that there's some sort of item lock available throughout the next couple of turns, just
Sure.
because Kev might try to the the Banette EX, but
Sure.
being able to have another Shuppet will be able to get this item lock around a lot longer.
No, that's very fair.
Yeah, definitely. So looks like we're grabbing the Banette. And do you think we're just gonna item lock and go next
Yeah, I
here?
think so. Trev's hand doesn't seem to be able to power through the next phase of this turn, so we're just gonna drop it and pass. Okay, no, no,
Okay,
no, never
there
mind.
we go.
Okay, so here we go. Let's see
Yep.
what Kev's game plan is to work around this item lock here. He has the tools if he wasn't item locked. So we'll see
Yeah.
how he works around to see if he maybe can get. Actually, I don't even know.
Yeah.
So we're artisaning off the rip.
Artisan. Artisan, I do like this. Just because we're able to get more attackers going.
I wonder
He
if there's
was
a world where
eyeing
you
the
get the second
disco.
Charmander.
Yeah. I would say yes.
That's what I'm
And
thinking.
I would say yes just because there's definitely a world where it could be gusted and along with like Monkey Dory and stuff like that. You just don't want to have like your only attacker being taken out. And I
Definitely.
think Kev is looking to
Yeah.
do that.
What's tragic is that I don't think Kev has access to get a Charmeleon down, which would be his way back into this game the next turn.
Yeah.
I didn't, again, no access to Ultra Ball. I really hope he doesn't elect to Seal Stone for it. Honestly, now that I'm saying it out loud, you could Arven for the stone, get the Charmeleon out, and then hopefully instant charge into the Charizard.
Definitely.
Not the most optimal line, but seeing as how I don't think Trevor's gonna be threatening a Screamtail of any sorts, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, definitely. And I think something that you could also consider too is maybe trying to use that boss in hand to gust up
Oh,
the
there you go.
Curlia, exactly what I was thinking here. Just because it does have a 2 retreat cost and it would involve Trev needing to get into that Gardevoir EX in order for him to get that out of the active.
That's a really good play. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was a Turo in hand, so I
Yeah.
didn't realize he had the boss.
Yes,
That's a
definitely.
great play.
Yeah, so yeah,
Oh,
Kev
man.
definitely took the words right out of my mouth with
And
that
he
one.
got the
Instant
Ultra Ball,
charge.
has the candies, he is ready to go.
Yeah, so Trev here is going to go into the Artisan right
And
away.
this is where he gets the second roll,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. Yeah, either that or Monkey
the
Dory.
Monkey,
Monkey
okay.
Dory is actually a pretty good one too. I kind of like that play just because if Trev uses his other Ultra Ball in hand, he could probably start putting some damage counters onto the Gardevoir EX
Sure.
and start to move some of those damage counters around, which could be really nice as well.
And I'm not too familiar with the optimal lines of Guardy, but there's a possibility where we get the Guardy KO on the Fez here.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
don't know
Oh,
if that's the
yeah.
best route here, but it definitely is a possibility.
Yeah, it definitely is a route here. I don't know if we have
Curly
the
Monkey. He has an Ultra Ball in hand.
yeah, I don't know if we have the energy
Oh,
in the
definitely not.
discard to do a play like that, but it's definitely an interesting one that is definitely should be respected here.
And if Trev has 2 in the discard, we could just get the he does. So
Yeah.
we just reset the Bayonet lock here.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Very fortunate energy draws here. Not the amount that he would like to see, but just enough to get this play off.
Yeah, definitely. And I do think that even though we do have a possibility of knocking out the Fez, I still think that item lock is definitely the more
100%.
optimal way to go about this turn here.
Yeah, and that's where we see the graveyard, the discard management for Guardy
Yeah.
being major here, getting just enough energy to make the play and keep you pushing forward.
Yeah, and to address Eden here, Kevin's deck list is technically available because he's pretty much just playing Isaiah Bradner's list from this past weekend. I don't know if Bradner posted his list. It's
He
probably
did.
on Twitter somewhere. But it's like a trolley Charizard list, and I think like Kev just changed like one card from it. I think he put like Manaphy in
The
for
second Rotom.
yeah for second Rotom.
There is a thread you could find online under Isaiah Brenner's Twitter about the list.
Yeah.
The thread also includes some potential changes and some highlights that are like must adds or must never cuts.
Yeah, and a shout out to Dan here in the chat. He's in the commentary and on the table. Shout out to you. Thanks for coming out, man. Miss you, bro.
Love
Miss
to
you,
have
bro.
you.
We had a great time in Toronto together. Yeah, 3 out of the 4 out of the 5 Toronto crew is currently here. 2 on the table,
Mobbing
1 in
out.
chat, and then myself. So, yeah, we definitely have a good crew here today. Definitely.
Okay, so Kev,
Yeah, so
Artisan for the Duskull here.
yeah, I do like this. Just because if you're able to manually evolve up the Duskull line, it could definitely help you uptrade a little bit with the prizes.
What's going on, Tony? Happy to
Yeah.
have you here. I'm glad you could tune in.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for coming out. So,
With the Arven.
okay, so the Arvin comes out here. And what do you think we grab here?
I would honestly like to see that Charmeleon come down.
Yeah.
Seeing as how hold up.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
Okay. Again, I have tested this list for a handful of games. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around the major uses of the Brave Charm. I think just attaching it to Fez or to Rotom is probably the only practical uses for
Yeah.
it. I don't know how I feel about it. I got to do some more testing with it and dig deeper into that thread that I was mentioning before and see if there were some more comments on it.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely an interesting piece that you could play for like I don't even know, like mirror. I guess it can kind of help
Yeah.
with. I mean, kind of makes your 2 prize liabilities less of a liability.
Sure.
But
And
yeah,
we look to get the Vacuum and the Charm here, so we're not going to make any massive swing plays this turn. I'm curious about the Vacuum Scoop up.
yeah.
Yeah, we just gotta pop the artisan so we don't get any more use out of it.
Yeah, definitely. And
Or is it an instant charge? Okay. Oh, what was that there?
instant
Another
charge.
pidge?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, that was a my reaction exactly.
Yeah.
That was a pretty brutal instant charge.
Yep.
Um,
And then Boxy, thanks for coming out today. Thanks for coming out. All right.
so this is I feel like wait. Oh,
Oh,
sorry, Trevor.
yeah,
Iono.
Trev
Okay,
played
okay.
it.
Well,
Yeah,
that was
Iono.
very, very fortunate for
Yeah,
Trev
they-
because his hand was abysmal.
Yeah. Charm Pidge, so Pult doesn't kill. Okay, yeah, I can
Sure.
I can get down with that then.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. All right, so another Ralts comes down here. I think that's off of the Artisan.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So we're
New,
seeing Trev slowly put together his board here. We're in a much better state than we were a turn or two ago.
Yeah.
Kev still though, kind of lingering on the same board with that item lock, not really being able to make any pushes for board advantage here.
Definitely. All right, so we still look to do the item lock here.
And next turn we have the Cipher plus no refinement yet, but
Yeah.
Cipher plus refinement eventually.
All right, I guess we go for another item lock. Was that Everlasting Darkness, the attack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then we got Poltergeist for the item or the trainers in hand.
Yes, and I definitely agree. Kev's deck is very interesting. It's funny because this past weekend, Trev actually played against Isaiah Bradner in Toronto, and they had a pretty close set. Trevor unfortunately did not win it, but definitely has some experience on how to play against this deck after that. After that set that they played over the weekend.
Definitely. I think
Yeah.
that this deck still has some evolving to do. No major pun intended,
Yeah.
but I feel like from my testing, it feels very clunky at times. And being, again, hyper dependent on that trolley, not getting a turn one really slows you down.
Yeah, definitely. Or on the off chance that you prize it, that definitely doesn't feel good.
Yeah, the same thing goes for that Dragapult Thorns deck as well. Prizing the trolley is just brutal.
Definitely.
Though they have more access to the poppins than this current Zard deck does.
Yep.
Then we go for like the fourth or fifth instant charge,
instant
third, fourth
charge.
instant charge in a row.
Yeah, we
got
got
a fat hand.
Yeah.
But with the item lock, it's brutal.
Yeah.
This is something that at the time deterred me from playing Zard, since there were a decent amount of Bayonet enjoyers at our locals.
Yeah.
And it's really, compared to other matches where you have the Cologne as the out, the Everlasting Darkness is brutal.
Definitely. And how do you think Trevor should be approaching this? Like, do you think he should start like moving the damage counters onto the Pidgey? Do you think he should start just keep item locking? Like, what do you think his game plan should be in order to, really like push his lead?
I think the move is to definitely get the Pidge back into monkey range. I think putting another 3 on there would not be a bad idea. I think that he also should maybe be establishing a second, or I guess a primary attacker besides the Bayonet.
Definitely.
He's not going to be using it these next couple turns, but once he decides to blow up the board, he definitely should have that ready to go.
Definitely.
Seeing as how Kev is having an insanely slow start, we got to take advantage of that as the Guardy player.
Yeah, I would agree. Just because you got to be wary about taking some of these knockouts a little bit early, just because if you open up Kev to allow him to use the Pheasantipity, that could really change the outlook of the game and really let him claw back into it.
And same, we're just getting that first Zard on the board. I mean, Guardy doesn't necessarily have the immediate response damage, seeing as how Trev doesn't have that attacker as of right now. And that 330 is super menacing plus the attack for weakness.
Definitely. So, looking
so
like we're just going for another lock here.
Now, again, being a bit more unfamiliar with the Guardy list, I don't know when the optimal time is to actually drop your hand and take over the board. Do you have any familiarity with it?
Not really.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, but usually when you're ready to break the item lock is when you want to take like that big knockout. So
Absolutely.
if Kev like instant charges enough and Trevor's able to take like that calculated risk to like say like, oh, you got a bunch of trainer cards in hand. It could be definitely that. And yes, Ian, Kevin is running the trolley.
Yeah, definitely. And I think from the looks of it, Trevor's trying to set up I'm assuming we're going to see it the turn before it actually happens. The energy from Fez onto Pidge, and then take the 3 prize knockout.
Yeah, I think that's what the play is.
And that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's a pretty major play, seeing as how Kev is board locked right now. Can't get that second Pidge established without the Thornton, which he does have in hand. But I don't know after a 3 prize swing if reestablishing the Pidgey will be necessary.
Yeah, and I mean, he's hit enough item lock attacks to where that Fez is at that 30 HP range now. So this play could definitely happen here. But Kev's looking to maybe play the Turo here.
Okay.
I see the Turo. He's thinking about playing that.
Now, what? So does he reestablish the Fez on the bench then, or does he put something else
I
down?
think you play something else
Okay, it
because
might be the second pitch.
yeah, I would say so too. Just because if you were to play something else, you want to hold the Fez until you want to play it,
He put the
until you
second
want to
dust one.
flip.
That's very interesting. So we're to look for like a wipe of the babies over here.
Yeah.
We got the instant charge again.
Instant
Though.
charge
for double
again.
candy Ultra Ball. Sick.
Yeah, interesting here. All right, so Trev draws for turn. He's got Prime Catcher.
What is Bayonet's HP 230 or 210?
I cannot see
I
that.
feel like
I think it looks like 230.
I'm getting the idea that Kev is definitely looking for a Candy Dusknoir Stretcher Dusknoir play on the Bayonet. But that being said, that with the Candy discard that we saw earlier in the game, that'll put him with one left, which
250 HP.
250. So
Yeah.
he has to double to do it.
Yeah.
But even if he does do that, that leaves him with one Candy in deck, if it's
Yeah.
even in deck.
Even if it's in, yeah.
And that does not sound great without a Charmeleon on the board.
No, unfortunately not.
It's gonna be very interesting how these next couple turns. Whoa, Alex Cruz in the wild.
Yeah,
Holy
he showed up
moly.
today. Yeah, he showed up
Wait
today.
a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute
I
since
haven't
he
seen
showed
him in
up.
a while. Glad he
Yeah.
could show up. Sucks that he couldn't get to play with us. I'm assuming he came from work and couldn't set
Yeah.
it up. Hold up.
The Brood Bonnet.
Oh, I was like, Kevin
Brood
with the tech
Bonnet.
going nuts. What does this card do?
Brood
Holy
Bonnet.
moly. I would have loved to see it in action. Hopefully we can get Trev later in the tournament and get some more Bayonet action, because right now, we're definitely not seeing it.
Yeah. All right. So after searching out the second monkey here, might be playing the Prime Catcher.
Is he just going to prime up the Rotom and start doing the same thing with the Fez?
Could be.
Whoa,
Oh, this might.
Hold on. That's a
Oh,
fat hand. We're definitely
this-
going with the Rotom here, no?
No. Yeah, because to retreat out, put some of those damage counters onto the Banette EX on the bench, and then you could start moving around with
Holy moly.
the Monkey Dory.
Sheesh. This is, man, these are some lines that I just don't come up with here. This is
Yeah.
not my line of thinking.
Yeah.
This is pretty sick.
Yeah, so now we have a double monkey angle here, so
We're just going to
you can
start
definitely
picking.
start moving stuff around.
Oh, so we're going for a big wipe.
Yeah,
Oh, man. So this is going to be a few more turns to set up, but when it does go off, this is going to be devastating.
definitely. So now we're gonna get the second monkey here,
Yep.
go down to 1 damage counter, and then we could put that up to 6, and then we're gonna be item locking again. So
Oh, man,
now
these numbers are brutal.
yeah, so now Trevor's kind of set up a board where he's able to take multiple prizes in a single turn.
Do we know if Trevor plays a vacuum? Because that would be devastating.
It would be. I don't know if he plays vacuum.
I'm assuming not. I'm assuming that these extra pieces in Guardy are kind of filling up those spaces, but we do see the gravity stones. So
Yeah.
maybe it's definitely a possibility.
Definitely.
It's gonna be very interesting these next couple turns. I'm really curious how Kev plans to get out of this.
Yeah.
I feel like the item lock is just
The item lock
quite
is
literally
too
just running him out
strong.
of the game.
Yeah.
And being able to get a turn 2 with Kev's very, very, very lackluster start is just, it puts you so far behind.
Yeah.
That being said,
You can't draw into Charmeleon.
yeah, can't draw into Charmeleon, but we do know that historically, like we were mentioning before, with Zard's damage ramping up throughout the game, we're gonna start taking some big swings once he gets unlocked.
Definitely.
If that ever happens. Whoa, got the bonnet and the booster
And the
off
booster
the rip.
capsule.
No bench space, but it is ready.
Yes. So we're gonna see that retreat again.
And we're just gonna be looping. I wonder
Yeah.
if Trevor just pings all the babies and then at some point just goes for like a 4-prize turn on all babies. It's
Yeah.
definitely possible. Oh no, we're KOing the Demander now.
Yep. So KO on Charmander.
So that does make the Fez live in hand.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, it got Ionoed.
Okay. So then we move that as well, and then another item lock attack here would knock out that
Yep.
Duskull. So now Trevor's able to stay on even prizing here. So now
I'm not gonna lie. At this point, I think it's just over.
yeah, it's definitely really tough just because if he has like the discipline to never break item lock, he pretty much just wins the game here,
And I
right?
think he's realized that up till now, it's been absolutely shutting Kev down, and I think there's no reason not to continue with it.
Definitely.
It's very interesting.
Ooh, so we have the Dusclops here coming out. I don't think that's really gonna do much right
Yeah,
now.
not this turn.
Yeah, it could
definitely
it could possibly do stuff to maybe knock out a Monkey Dory, but I don't really think that's gonna accelerate.
We do have the
board.
Charmeleon now.
Oh, we do
so
have
we
the
definitely put it
Charmeleon.
on the fresh Charmander.
Yep.
And unless we get a gust,
Oh, interesting.
hold on. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I think that sets you up for the perfect monkey play here, and it is just going to get wiped.
Yes, I think so too. Just because since there's 30 already on there,
Yeah.
double monkey will take that out of play.
I think that was some oversight from Kev there. I think we should definitely should have put it on the fresh Charmander.
Definitely.
Hold on.
Oh
We got
boy.
the Mochi
The
on the
mochi.
Guardy.
The mochi.
Now hold on, well Guardy without Mochi still gets the job done on the Rotom. I think he's just doing it to dump his or to get his hand a bit thin.
I think he's just thinning out the hand right now.
But what are we looking for on Trev's side? I mean, we kind of just already have the pieces we need here.
Yeah, I think you're just trying to loop again
Yeah.
the play here. So retreat out into the other Banette EX. We'll put that in.
And I think Trev has to just pop the Charmeleon.
Yes, I think so too. Let's see here what he's doing here. Okay, move that there. It goes up to 6.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay,
the
perfect.
Charmeleon goes away, and they can't get recovered because of item lock.
Absolutely.
No
Yay,
Stretcher.
unlock.
And no Super Rod.
Oh man. And we Everlasting Darkness again.
Yeah, Everlasting Darkness.
No Turtle to get this Rotom off the board. Here we go.
Oh,
Wait,
so we
hold
got
on,
the
hold
Dust
on.
Noir. The Dust Noir is here.
So
I don't
what
think it's
is
really
the-
doing much.
I don't think so either. I don't know. I think Kev is just trying to make the most of what he's got here, but I think he's having an uphill battle.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Trev is pretty close to winning this game.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's able to get rid of that charm, he's pretty much like a double monkey and like an and then that second attack, the big attack away from pretty much winning the game.
I forgot. Yeah, the Poltergeist.
The Poltergeist, yeah.
And with Kev having to instant charge, so many times, his hand is ready to go.
Yeah.
Now there are chances that he goes for the Poltergeist and whiffs, but looking at Kev's hand from a third party, it's juiced.
Yeah, definitely.
Here we go again. So we got the Zard, got the Regidrago ready. I don't know. In the Regidrago, it takes the clean KO on the Bayonet, but again,
It does, yeah.
Leave that one prize on the board with the crazy retreat cost, and he's just gonna bounce around it.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty much, you can kind of just keep moving the damage around onto the Pidgey until you kind of win.
Yep. I think since Rotom's max HP is so low, I think next turn Trev has a really good chance of just locking it
Yeah,
out.
definitely.
And double pop the Pidgey, swing at the Rotom with the Guardian, you're good to go.
Definitely. And Etchy, shout out to you. Thanks for coming out today to watch.
I just got done watching your guys' pod on the drive to work this afternoon.
Yeah,
so
I know. I've been keeping up with it too. So
definitely, and love seeing the guys that we usually see every week find a lot of success.
yeah, definitely. And giving them a platform is really awesome too. So
100%.
yeah, we definitely keep doing you, Etchy. Keep doing you. All right, and as Kev's moving on to his turn, it's really not much else he can do.
No,
I don't think there's any energy in here that he can use to take out this Rotom from play.
No energy in hand. I mean, even if we do retreat the Rotom, I mean, we're still in a very disadvantageous spot.
Yeah, so this is pretty much just like a double single monkey play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Single monkey on the Charmander.
Yep,
Swing
and then
at the Rotom.
Yep, swing at the Rotom. And then Poltergeist. Oh man.
Man.
Oh.
Oh.
The Thorn off the tizzy.
That and those prizes were definitely
Yeah,
not
those were
great.
not good. So tough game here for Kev to start off the night, but it was just it's just a big case of matchup roulette. Bryce, do we have another game?
Item lock
No other
over.
game here.
Oh, I would have loved to see Olive on the
Sea-Pow?
Sea-Pow.
Yeah, I know. Funny. But, now that our round one is over, I mean, what kind of things do you think that we should, talk about today? We've been trying to pick, different topics that we can sort of discuss during, the middle of the rounds. How about let's go over, some of the Toronto results. What do you
Yeah,
think?
sure. I mean, I think
Yeah.
it was even though I didn't play at the time, it was a flashback to that infamous picture of the 8 Palkia.
Hey, Palkia.
It was
Yeah.
very interesting. I wouldn't say it's super surprising, but I think that the turnover rate, the conversion rate of Drago into Top Cut was insane.
Yeah, definitely. And even though I kind of scrubbed out of the event, I'm still very much. I don't regret that I played Drago to the event, and it was definitely the play. So I'm kind of glad. I mean, my list wasn't too far off of Cal's, so he was the eventual winner of the event. But some crazy cards that were played this weekend. I mean, the Alolan Egg was a game changer. That card definitely won me a lot of games. Only playing 2 energy, played the superior energy retrieval, so a lot of crazy things with Drago this week. A lot of people played different kind of lists, but I think the one thing that kind of was constant with all of these Drago decks was the 5 dragons that were played, which was the Gudra, the Dragapult, one of Dragapult,
Mhm.
Giratina, Kyurem, and Alolan Egg. I saw a lot of the lists playing those. I know a couple people were trying to test out the Noivern, but the Noivern wasn't really.
Noivern's definitely
Yeah,
not it. I do like. I mean, even though it's not necessarily a super surprise, I'm a
yeah,
big fan of the reintroduction of Gudra.
yeah,
I think even outside of the mirror match, it has some super crazy uses.
yeah.
The damage reduction is so important, especially when you can ramp up damage so easily in some of these decks. I did want to give a shout out to. I was looking at the top 16 standings, and I was really not surprised, but happy to see Midwest legend Gabe Shumway in top
Yeah,
16. I was really happy to see that. I've gotten to know him over the past few months. Just seeing him at majors and talking to
yeah,
him, he's a great guy, and I'm really happy to see him find
yeah,
success.
definitely. And then our goat Shen also
Of course, of
made
course.
made it up there as well.
Always love talking to him as well.
Yeah,
Always a funny guy. Haven't
definitely.
seen him in a bit either, but again, when I do, it's always a good time.
Yeah. And to address Dan here, to optimal Tim Hortons order. I don't know if what the optimal Tim Hortons order was, but my Tim Hortons order was the double stack farmer wrap. It's like this breakfast wrap, and it comes with it's got like sausage, egg, and a hash brown wrapped into the
That sounds
tortilla,
gas. That sounds crazy
and
good.
then with the iced coffee. Oh man,
Iced coffee, one cream, one sugar. You're good to
yeah,
go.
I drank mine
Always.
black, but
Oh, that sounds good.
that was definitely a game changer. It definitely got me going.
Timmy Hortons
Yeah,
going
Timmy
crazy.
Hortons, and it was crazy too because Tim Hortons was just across the street from our
Oh, that's
hotel,
perfect.
so that was definitely a game changer. And
I
yeah,
only had the chance to have it once, and it happened to be at Dodger Stadium. I was a bit surprised to
yeah,
get it there, but
yeah,
Tim Hortons definitely a solid
yeah,
spot.
it was super solid, and it was a big part of the weekend. So super glad about
Major
the Tim
spot, major
Hortons.
spot.
Yeah, Tim Hortons was fire. Yeah, so I guess going back to some of the other Toronto results, I mean, Drago was definitely a big play, but the one Raging Bolt that made it into cut made it to top 4. So that was definitely a big one too, and definitely farmed a lot of Dragos to get to the point that he did. So
Definitely, and something
yeah,
that stood out to me. I forgot which pod it was on, and I was listening to it the past couple days. Something that I didn't really come to mind was that there's a big question about why isn't Raging Bolt converting more if there's so many Drago in the room,
yeah,
and
definitely,
something that was brought up was that well, Zard exists.
yeah,
While Zard isn't beating Drago, it's beating everything else.
yeah, definitely,
So the emergence of a straight Drago counter, it exists, but it's not really getting its time to shine because there's the hardest counter in the room to it, and Zard with it being the second most popular.
yeah. So it's funny because like Drago checks Zard, but Zard pretty much checks every other deck in the format.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and that's also why we don't see many Zard in Top Cut outside of that one major a couple weeks ago.
yeah.
It's been very interesting seeing that one tournament, whatever the reason was, it popped off, but we haven't really seen it in Top Cut since.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Azul kind of said it best. It's like, you know, if you want to like do like just as well but not win the event, you can play Zard,
For sure.
but Drago was really like the play that really got you to like win the event.
Definitely. I think it's clearly the BDIF. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, definitely. And I wish I hit more Charizards in my run. I had to play 2 Miraidons and 2 Raging Bolts.
Damn.
So it was
Pretty unlucky
definitely
for sure.
yeah, it was definitely tough. I mean, I ended up going 1, 2, and 1 out of those 4 rounds, but Raging Bolt was the thing that knocked me out of day 2 contention. I was in it until round 8, but then I hit another Raging Bolt, and then that kind of killed the run there. So
It's been very interesting to see
yeah,
the development of the meta with how outside of the top two
yeah,
being relatively even across the board, around 6-7%.
yeah, definitely. And it was a very wide meta. I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely.
like even like I mean, like let's look at some of these top results. So Drago like took over.
Right.
There's a Pidge control in top 8. There was the Raging Bolt. Our good buddy Kieran Farah, ninth
Of
place with
course. A
Lugia.
legend.
Yep. And then we had at 13th and 14th Gabe and Elliott playing
Yeah, the cloth.
Cloth. And then we had another local, Michael Davidson, playing
He was playing Guardy
yeah,
this
he's playing
time.
Gardevoir as well. So we definitely had a lot of different decks being played here as well. So I mean, we see a little bit more Charizard. There was a Roaring Moon that placed in the top 32. That was pretty cool to see. What was like the wackiest deck? Oh, I know. Team members Dan Hugar and Rafal Gladys played the Dragapult Iron Thorns. Have
Nice,
you
nice.
tested that at all?
I have.
Yeah,
It's pretty interesting. I have the stuff ready for it to build it and play it IRL. I would
yeah,
have if I was playing it, I probably would have played it.
yeah,
It's really interesting. I'm like in our area, I'm like one of the biggest like Thorns haters in the world.
yeah,
But I feel like having some pivots into more versatile attackers like Dragon Ball makes it a lot more fun, a
Yeah,
lot more approachable.
definitely. And the supporter count's interesting because instead of like playing like a bunch of ball search, you just play a bunch of Crispin and Arvin,
Yeah,
and that kind of gets you like your attackers to go.
definitely. And
Yeah.
since the announcement of Crispin, it's been a natural partner for Dragon Ball. We just haven't hasn't outside of these past one major or two, it hasn't really found its niche in the format. But paired with Dragon Ball, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I love
definitely.
it.
And then to address Boxy, poutine is definitely a yay, but you have to find the right place for it. Shout out to Anil from the Shift Gear podcast. Took us to a nice pub after day one of the play, but um, you know, we came to Toronto a little earlier. We came in on Thursday, but none of the poutine spots there were pretty good. But he told us it's like you can't like go to like the really mainstream spots for good poutine. You got to go to like the really low key spots. So he definitely gave us some recommendations, and we did have some good poutine there.
Yeah, I feel like poutine is just like good fries in America. It's like it's really
Yeah,
hit or miss. You got to really make it right, and
yeah,
when they're made right, they're crazy
yeah.
good.
We definitely were eating real good when we were out there in Toronto. So if you guys don't like get the chance to, just make sure you try to visit out there. It's a really nice place. I grew up like going to Toronto a lot because I got a lot of family out there, and that's why I'm a big Toronto Blue Jays fan. So the city's always good to me, so we always enjoy going out there when
And
we
one
can.
thing I always encourage, whatever major you end up, or
Yeah.
whatever city you end up going to, is just trying the local food.
Oh yeah,
There's so many
definitely.
hidden gems, even mainstream ones that you could find and go to and really enjoy your time there.
Yeah, definitely.
Every city I've been in this past year and a half traveling for majors has been, uh, there's Pokemon number one, but there's food number two for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. Oh, and we got the second round here, so let's find
Fantastic.
out who we're gonna
Yeah,
be putting
there's
on
some
here.
people, Boxy, that I know that think like poutine's super overrated, but that's kind of the point. I mean, it's simple stuff. I mean, it's just what curds, cheese, curds, gravy.
And Adam, keep talking. I'm gonna
It's
set up the
pretty
next round.
solid. I mean, I don't know. It can't really go wrong with some good ingredients there. I feel like while we know that Canada is pretty known for that kind of cuisine, there's a lot of different things you could try there as well. I'm sure. I wish I could have gone with the boys to go visit. There was, we went to Charlotte for the major a couple months ago. Had some really good food there, good Korean food. There's some things that you just wouldn't expect to see or taste when you're in towns that are more known for more specific things like poutine or whatever else you would get in Canada. Brian's out there getting our next pairings up. I don't know who ended up winning on table two. It was Oliver, it was Alex. So we shall see what table one has for us this next round. I'm hoping for another more, off meta matchup here. Not that Zard and Guardy was off meta, but the builds that we had on the top tables there were definitely not your expected ones. I know that we have a Bolt in the room. I don't know how he's doing right now. I didn't get a good look to see what everyone else was playing. I know that we have Ryan out there in the crowd. No Eli, no Dan. So I'm curious to see how that kind of changes the dynamic of our tournament today. If I were playing today, like I was saying, I would have played Dragapulse Thorns. Not that it was good into the room, but just because I wanted to test it out, see how it was going. Yeah, it's made a big splash these last few weeks, and on paper it sounds pretty good. What do you guys feel about it? And what are you guys thinking about playing these next few weeks as we are approaching rotation? Thanks, Tony. I appreciate it. Thumbs up to you as well. From in over the past few weeks though, I've noticed that while Nerd Rage has a very competitive scene, I haven't seen too many Drago here, which as a Zard player I'm very thankful for. But for a competitive standpoint, I would like to get more reps against it. It's um it's it's a tough matchup for Zard for sure. That's what I'm saying, Dan. I agree 100%. Even if it's not something that it's particularly known for, it's something that you wouldn't get anywhere else, right? It definitely changes the experience you have in different cities, especially with the opportunities that we get to travel across the country and out of country for some. It sounds like we're getting Ancient Box in the cut, which I do like a lot. I know that if Rachel is at table one, we do see a blender in there, which is pretty sick. I'm all about the Ancient Box blender for sure. I haven't done any reps with it, but on paper it sounds pretty awesome. And having that one prize only condition is pretty awesome. Not the most common thing in our meta that we see today. Though we haven't seen Ancient Box be very successful over the past few majors. That being said, it hasn't had a really strong representation either. I think it has a pretty, as we saw around Worlds time, it has a pretty decent, it's suspected to have a pretty decent Drago matchup. But as the lists have developed, I wonder if that still stands true. What do we got at table one, Brian?
Table one. All right, I'm back. Table 1, we have Sky and Rachel. Sky is playing Regidrago, and
There
then
you go.
Rachel is playing Ancient Box.
So now that we see Sky on the stream,
Yeah.
I recollect that at the last time them and I spoke,
Yeah.
they are straight Drago until San Antonio. So it's no surprise there to see them rocking it today. We'll see them
Yeah.
rocking it for the remainder of the time until San Antonio for sure. I mean, and I was just mentioning how even though we have a pretty competitive scene here at NRG, we haven't seen Drago too often.
Yeah, we haven't. I think a lot of people are kind of just tired of the deck. I mean, if
Fair,
I was
fair.
playing, I would have probably played it just
For
because
sure.
that was what I played over the weekend. But yeah, definitely. And this matchup is actually an interesting one. A lot of people played Ancient Box as a counter to Drago just because it it trades up pretty well,
Hmm.
especially once you get to the point where where the ancient Pokemon are able to take the two prizers. But I was able to actually win a challenge with this matchup because when you set up the Dragapult like numbers like well enough,
Hmm.
you're able to take like a big 3-prize turn
Yeah.
with the Kyurem, and that's how I was able to win. I had to pretty much go through every single card in my deck. I almost decked myself out just so I could hold the jamming tower and get the 3-prize turn, which is kind of crazy.
Now I was talking about how Ancient Box has that ability to go for that full one prize board, and now that I'm looking at Rachel's list here, it seems like that she only has the Petron as her two prizer,
Yeah.
which I think is fantastic. I
Yeah.
think adding more than that is a bit too much.
Definitely, and I do like that because you do have an option for that really big knockout. Um, but the really big advantage of Ancient Box is that you're able to uptrade so well,
Exactly.
and that's why like the Petron's usually the only like multi-prizer that you play.
Yeah.
And
No,
it's
I've
to
seen
like
some of this experimenting with multiple two prizes like a Fez in there as well.
yeah,
I think you gotta play one or the other. There's no way you could fit both.
yeah, definitely. Because like when you put too many two prizers into the deck, it really takes away the purpose of the deck,
Exactly.
and I mean, you pretty much end up just losing a lot faster.
I 100% agree. So we
Yeah.
got the Pokestop. We got the Superior and Sada off the rip here. Rachel's got a pretty good hand as long as she can get another Moon in play for
Yeah,
sure. And it looks
definitely.
like it's honestly she can. It's a matter of if we stop instead.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, how do you feel about the Ultra Ball prior to the stop? So I like how we're dumping the Petch for it. But I feel like we maybe could have dug for some ball
Yeah.
search or more ancients in the discard first.
I can
no?
see that. But part of me likes holding the Pokestop because you don't want to give it to Sky as a resource to use right now
That's
or
true.
going into her first turn. So, just holding it until when you really need it is something that I kind of like. But I do like the Ultra Ball just because you're able to get the other Pokemon in play, just so in case Sky is able to get like attach Teal Mask or Teal Dance and like E-Switch play. It's like, something like that.
Dan, you are absolutely right. Losing faster, definitely
Is bad.
not the move.
Is big bad.
Losing in general ain't the move, but losing
Yeah.
faster is just ain't it.
Definitely.
And now that we talked about the Pokestop in play, it gave me a flashback to the major over the weekend where I think it was Christian Labella who
Yeah.
just absolutely abused his opponent's Pokestop. He was getting
Yeah.
some crazy rips on it on Drago,
Definitely.
even though he didn't play it himself.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, for Drago, it's like one of those things where like anything you kind of mill that isn't a supporter is like fine because you
Yeah.
want to mill away your dragons anyways. So
Absolutely, and if you mill away the Dragos or the Ogre Pawns, you just rot it back.
definitely.
Or Stretcher, whichever ratio Sky let it to play.
Yeah, definitely. And I do like the Gudra going into the discard right away. Gudra is a super good attacker in this matchup as well.
It's probably
Just
the best attacker in this matchup, honestly.
Yeah,
If
besides
it's a-
Dragapult.
Yeah, sure. I mean, at least on the first attacker, I think that setup play that you were referring to earlier definitely is the move. But as your first damage, it hits exact numbers, which is sick.
Yeah.
Gain that it's 200 flat, right, for the Gudra attack.
Yeah.
And that's sick. That's a perfect number for in this matchup.
Definitely. And as Squawk is usually something you don't really like putting into play, but sometimes you
Yeah.
kind of have to. So, the Squawk does go into play just so Sky has some cards to play for the next turn.
Sure.
And let's see what you're gonna grab here.
the Cleffa.
Ooh,
Retreat into
looks
the
to get
Cleffa,
into the
okay.
Cleffa here, and see if we can try to thin out the hand a little bit more here.
And I think we see Sky go down to one card here before we Cleffa.
Yeah, hopefully.
We
And
got
Dan,
Ultra Ball. You got some good stuff
yeah,
there.
Dan, I 1000% agree. Setting up for Kyurem is definitely ideal, but goo is goo. Goo is good.
Goo is goo. I mean, like, it gets you it makes their ancient count have to be so high early, and even with the blender, it's not super likely.
Yeah, definitely.
That being said, we're not
Oh.
gonna thin it. We're just gonna go for the 2. Okay.
Yeah, and was
Double
that
rod.
double rod?
That's pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say what Dan just said in the chat, but yeah, I agree.
Hey man,
Yeah,
they are indeed
yep,
doing the thing.
that's happening.
And we do get the stop right off the rip. We got
Yep.
one. We got. That's pretty
Ooh,
decent.
okay, that's
Pretty
decent,
decent.
pretty decent
Got
here.
another ancient to add to the counter here. Don't know
Definitely.
what we're at. Not too much. Not any relevant numbers just yet. It might actually
Yep.
be the first card the first ancient card in the discard here.
Yeah, definitely.
But we do see Rachel very likely being able to get this first attack off. I don't know how many energy they have in the discard, but we do have a shot to get at least the 1 plus the 3 draw.
Definitely. All right, and looks like, ooh,
Here.
interesting going for the.
So if that were to, so now that we sequenced it that way, why do you think? Well, one, why did we play the gear if we already have Sada? And
Probably
two,
just to thin out something out of the
sure.
yeah out of the deck.
But then if that's the case, why play it after the Pokestop?
Yeah,
Right?
good question.
Now, thankfully, it paid off. We got 2 items off it plus an ancient. But if we had milled a Sada, we'd have to be able to help pat it back before doing
Yeah,
anything.
definitely. So I think we probably just play the Sada here, and hopefully we draw into an energy, right?
Definitely. We have only one in the discard. Okay, so we're
Yeah.
hoping to living on a dream here. Boom, boom,
Boom.
and
Oh,
nothing.
boy.
Alright, this is
Oy vey.
not great. And
Yep.
even if we did get the energy, we're hitting for 90.
Yeah,
We get the KO on the Cleffa, but really, that's exactly what Drago wants.
yeah, exactly. So looks like we're not gonna be able to get the attack off here, which definitely feels bad.
It does feel bad.
Yeah, but it gives Sky an opportunity to kind of get that first attack off, and we'll be able to start attacking with that rolling iron.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
their first go attack here is to go crazy. It gets you over that first move with no energy attached to it, or no energy attached to the bench. That is. That being said, if we, I don't even know how we set up that next attacker here. We gotta get the dark patch in action.
Yeah,
I feel like no Sada in hand,
yeah.
no energy in hand.
So something that I'm interested to see is if Sky is going to be able to get this attack going without having to use the V Star, because something that I've learned playing this deck is that if you're able to hold your V Star as long as possible, it puts yourself in a really good position.
So it looks like we definitely will, unless we
Yeah.
just super whiff on this research
Yeah,
here. We
hopefully
do
not.
double research, double rod.
Yep.
I wonder. I'm assuming this second rush set again, or actually, it's being used. It's being used
Yep.
for 1. Gain the max use out of it. That way, we're not dumping it for nothing.
Definitely.
So we're hoping for what E switch.
Yep, just a singular E switch. That's all we're
Okay.
looking for here.
Not impossible. And even if we don't get it off the research, is there any merit in just not even V starring here? I feel like we're safe with the Cleffa, and we could draw up and almost guarantee the E switch on the next turn.
Yeah, definitely. And I can definitely see that here. Ooh, going for the egg here.
We are fiending.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
And I like this play just because it's good, because when you have 2 research in hand and you have the Ultra Ball, I mean, you're going to be using 1 research anyways, so as long as you get another dragon out into the discard, it'll give you more attacking options, which is really
Definitely.
nice
I
to
mean, in
see.
this case, it's a guaranteed KO.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Let's see if we get the E-switch here. We do get it.
Nice.
There we go.
Perfect. So we're going to swing that Sphene for a knockout.
Yeah.
What
So I'm
was that?
hoping that we're actually going to be using the Gudra attack
Yeah.
here, but yeah, it's good to have options.
It's crazy. This
Yeah.
this is as toolboxy as it gets.
Yep. So let's see what Rachel ends up doing here, just because there's currently 3 ancient cards in the discard pile. Oh, Sada off the top.
That's pretty sick.
That's fire.
We still need energy.
Yep.
So here we go. Boom.
Okay.
Boom. Okay.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Not bad. We have
Okay.
the stretcher to get that moon back. So we do
Yeah.
get the max value out of the Sada here, which is major.
Yes, definitely. And there is a stretcher in hand too.
Yep, yep,
So if Rachel really needed to, you can always, Sada attach, draw 3, and then stretcher for that second energy. Or even there's 2 stretchers, so you can kind of.
I think
Yeah.
I didn't know we had 2 stretcher first of all, but if we only had 1, I think the move is definitely to get the second moon and just get max value out of the Sada,
Yeah,
right? And just hope for
absolutely.
that last energy off the draw.
Absolutely.
So here we go.
Yep. Declare the 2 here. And
So again,
getting
we're
the
hoping
draw.
for that energy draw. Hopefully we don't whiff this time.
Oh, okay, we
the
got it, we
vessel,
got it.
okay. Fantastic. And the walking wake is the discard.
Yeah,
So it's
and
like that's optimal there.
Definitely. And getting the vessel here is so good too, because I mean, along with getting the extra energy, it allows you to discard another ancient Pokemon in order to, really fill out that damage count.
Absolutely, getting the +2 ancient count is major, especially in this matchup. Hopefully we can see the blender as fast as possible.
Definitely.
And we already did we have not used Ninja yet, correct?
Yes.
Fantastic. So
Yep.
we'll see 2 more cards here.
Definitely, and I actually do really agree with Dan here, just because setting up the Dragapult here when you know that there's not really that much of a threat for that Drago V Star to get knocked out, just helps to set up your damage so you can get a big Kyurem play off. Because I mean,
I think
the
both are very
Goodra is
valid.
good, but the Dragapult attack really will help you to set up your late game.
Sure.
Definitely. So looking here right now, and Rachel is looking to attack soon, and I'm wondering what we are at damage-wise. I think we're at like
Looks like
150.
130. It's 6 plus the 7, yeah?
Yes, but minus 80.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're tickling here.
Yeah, we're we're tickling.
13 minus 8,
Yeah.
we're dealing 5
Yeah,
here.
we're
Okay,
not
hold
we're
on,
not
hold
really
on.
we're not doing too much here.
We do.
Oh, catcher, this is huge.
Okay.
I kind of like this. So I like this play here because right now it's a little hard for Sky to power up
Oh,
another.
because it gusted. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the switch.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, but getting that damage there, so you're getting the full amount of damage with
Yeah.
this play, and it's also hard to get that Drago V out of play as well.
Definitely.
Ooh, double E. We got an E switch
Oh,
here.
we're seeing all the E switches here now.
Yeah.
That's fantastic for Sky.
Huge.
And the vessel, what are we dumping here? Another vessel.
Ooh, vessel
Okay.
for another vessel.
Not the worst in the world, seeing as how our deck is so thin already.
Yeah.
And we're pretty low on energy count in the deck already too.
Definitely.
And now we will definitely have the 5 grass energy in play.
Yep, another E switch. Very nice.
Yeah, we're cooking.
Yep.
And
I
this
wonder
time,
what
now
type
we see the Drago, yeah.
Yep.
Nope. More goo.
More goo.
All we have is the goo.
Yeah,
no
the
other
goo's
options.
really
Goo
the
or
only
the
thing.
Stain.
Yeah.
I mean, that works perfectly fine in this matchup. If that's your only attacker, you're happy.
Yeah, and I think one thing that you want to be aware of when you're playing this matchup is just because Ancient Box is able to uptrade so well, if you're able to hit that 4 prize area before Ancient Boxes, you can kind of think of yourself as in a good area.
Definitely.
Like you're in a good pace of play where you can still get all 6 of your prizes here. So I guess one of the really big weaknesses here with Ancient Box, it's looking like it's kind of a brick right now.
Yeah, I mean, not being able to get that first attack off and get some poke damage was major.
Yeah,
Even if it wasn't super significant, it would have been able to get that knockout the next turn.
definitely.
And we're just not seeing a steady stream of attackers here. We're really scrapping by to get our next attacker every turn.
Definitely.
Not being able to set it up the turn before really crunches your options. You're really having to narrow your options down to just gain that attacker out, which leaves you open to a lot of vulnerabilities.
Definitely. So let's see what Rachel's working with here. Did you catch if she's able to SATA this?
No, we're
No.
okay.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
playing.
there's no gear in hand.
Yeah.
We're not gonna mill for the gear, so
Yep. Pull
The-
Kyurem definitely seems like a good board wipe, Dan. I do agree. Let's see what we're going here with after the Explorer's Guidance. Grabs a couple of cards here.
we're keeping the gear for sure.
Yeah.
Digging for that second or third, or third or fourth SATA.
Definitely.
Hopefully none are prized. If we only have one in deck, that's a big problem.
Definitely.
So now we're at a good chunk of
Yeah.
ancients. Now we're at 3, 6, 8, 10s. We're doing 17.
Yeah,
It's a juicy number right now for sure.
definitely.
That being said, we
think
were
there's
only
another catcher.
dealing 800 or 880, I should say, on this active Drago because of the Gudra.
Definitely.
More tickle damage.
Yep.
And that's where this Gudra really gets the max value because even though you're stacking all these ancients in the discard, that Gudra's pretty much chopping it in half.
Yeah, definitely.
And up until like the super late game. I mean, once we get Blender in play, it kind of nulls it. But right now, it's really just that Rachel without a Gust can't really take a knockout.
Yeah, and I think I like the idea that Rachel's holding the Grey Tusk because I feel like when Drago kind of turbos through the entire deck, it could be a legitimate win condition to deck
Definitely.
out Sky.
If we could stall out a turn or two without getting any massive swings from Sky, that Tusk could be crazy.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we still have a decent amount of cards in deck, but we do know that, like you said, Drago could really thin out very fast.
Yeah, and I think there is another counter catcher in hand currently, and I think Rachel can honestly use that to start getting some prizes on her side.
Is there a world where we just counter catcher up this stacked up Ogerpon and swing at it?
Yeah, that could be a possibility
I
as
don't
well.
know. I don't know if we're at that damage. I just said 18, which wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, but I mean, there's still that Drago on the bench, and there's also still the Squawk. So
Actually,
yeah, there's
if
some
my math
options.
is right, we're one short on the Ogerpon KO.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Oh, it looks like we're gonna super out 3 energy
Okay,
back.
and after not seeing the energy for the first couple turns, now we're just routing it
Yeah,
all back.
definitely.
That knockout the turn before from Sky really sunk us deep here. But wait, hold on.
So it was a super rod, 3 energy back, and then a vessel played to grab 2 of
Oh,
them.
I thought, okay,
Yeah.
my fault, my
Yeah, you're
fault.
good,
So
you're good.
now, if we do have the ghost, which she said that she did, we can get the Ogerpon knockout here.
Yes,
Which I think definitely better than the Drago.
definitely.
Yeah, and here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it takes the energy out of play,
Yep.
and it forces a little bit more effort to be put in to power up the next Drago.
Definitely. That's definitely a good play.
Yeah.
Again, the issue is, though, that second moon on the bench, still naked.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, not being able to stream those attackers back to back to back effortlessly is a bit frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely, and I definitely agree with you. So we're looking to Ultra Ball here. Mew and the research. Probably to get the V-Star here is what I would
definitely,
think.
right?
Either a V-Star or to
Or
grab...
the Kyurem, yeah.
Yeah, a Kyurem could definitely be a play. But I also like the idea of putting the V-Star there just because it is a little bit tougher for Rachel to knock out the V-Star than just the regular Drago V.
Yeah,
So,
but with that poke
yeah.
damage, we're at the numbers already. We have 13 on the most recently evolved Drago, but we're well over that 15 threshold.
Definitely. So the Iono is being played here. 4 cards apiece for each player. And let's see here. Did Sky draw into the Prime Catcher? That's kind of huge.
Prime Catcher Cologne.
Prime Catcher and Cologne,
matters.
yeah. Ooh, the Giratina is now going into the discard pile, which is huge.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's super relevant in this matchup.
Yeah.
The 280.
The 280 is kind of big.
All you need is the
Yeah.
200 and you're good to go. And, 2 of your main attackers are already set up.
Yep.
Gain the Pokestop out of play. Just for the sake of getting it out of play, I guess. Just so Rachel can't, mega ramp.
Definitely.
Now we're at over 220 damage.
Yep.
So those basic Vs, basic EXs, they're good to go. The question is, how does Rachel get out of this?
Yeah, it's a little tough. I mean, being able to draw into Sada is huge.
We're going to have to find a counter catcher then to get this next big play.
Definitely. I don't even know if there's any counter catchers left in the deck.
Yeah, I'm not
and
sure.
the tough thing about this, too, is this Regidrago V-Star in the active hasn't been punched yet.
No, not at all.
So it's a little hard to get any sort of meaningful damage onto it when it keeps using Rolling Iron.
And Rachel was eyeing up the Tusk.
Yeah.
And
now Sky has the Dragapult in hand as well, so the Dragapult entering the discard pile can definitely make things a lot harder now.
Definitely. I'm glad
Ooh,
that Rachel went for the Tusk and not
the
the bundle.
Tusk.
Because that bundle is just getting a free Clefaigus.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Tusk, Sky is definitely dwindling down. It looks like sub 15 cards.
Yeah.
So in these next couple turns, without a sweep from Sky here, that Tusk might be doing some work.
Definitely. So it looks
Now,
like...
do you think that we should have benched the Tusk here and just get the extra energy attached, or do you think that the solo is fine?
I think the solo is fine for now, just because we're not looking to use the Tusk for now.
Sure.
It's definitely like a last play of the game kind of thing.
Sure.
And I think that's why Sky has been really trying to hold the V-Star powers so much, is because Sky will be able to use that to grab all of the recovery cards like the rods and the superiors.
And I agree, Dan.
Yeah.
Using the CC super early does eliminate that win count. I don't know how many that they're playing. When I played Ancient Box earlier in the season, I definitely played at least 2. So assuming that one is in prize, we should have hopefully have access to one more. Obviously not on this turn though.
Definitely like your point of view here to just start using the Tusk.
I think it's not a bad idea. I think
Yeah.
even just putting it on the board to get the one attach and leaving it as a threat forces Scott to go into it. They may not, but having that on the board ready to go, I think is maybe a better use of our Sada.
Yes, and I do like Dan being the one to mention it because I know Dan definitely used Great Tusk as a win condition a lot in Baltimore. Was it Baltimore?
I think so.
Yeah, they day 2 that event.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was also debating playing that, and in hindsight, definitely should have.
Yeah.
And here we got the 180.
The 180.
So that means it's swinging for 260, which is
Yes.
fat. And that's pretty nice. We're discarding
Yep.
the Dragapult finally here, but
Yep.
that's where things take a turn for the worse, I think, for Rachel here. Because now we're going to start just
Definitely.
pinging. And I don't think we have any more hand discard in hand, so you can really get anything and just hold on
Yeah,
to it.
definitely. As long as that V isn't hitting the bench,
Yeah.
it should be fine.
And even if it is, that means Rachel's have to gust it up, which leaves the Ogerpon still on the board.
Yes, definitely. And I wonder if there's a point that you sort of just try to power up. Actually, no. You don't really need to power up that V-Star because Prime
No,
Catcher is in the hand. And,
exactly.
and Ancient Box doesn't typically run like disruption cards like Iono,
No,
right?
not at all.
Yeah.
If anything, it's a one of. if you would like to play it.
Yep.
Again, the list has evolved a decent amount since Baltimore, with the introduction of the different A specs.
Definitely.
So the ratios may be a little bit off, but the core of it is still the same.
Definitely. Ooh, and it's not looking too good here for Rachel. I don't think she has another attacker that she could put into play or any energy to use to draw.
See, I think this is where, in hindsight, getting that Tusk with the energy would have been major.
Yeah,
It wouldn't have won you the game this turn, but it would have had you an attacker for this turn.
definitely.
Not that you can't do it, but now you have to retreat the ninja, which is
Yeah,
definitely a bit more difficult, seeing as how you can't SADA to it.
yeah, and it's tough too because I mean, obviously you can use like the Petron to get the attack off here, but I mean, Sky would be able to just respond with a Drago attack
Exactly.
because I mean, the V-Star ability is still active.
The thing is, though, and maybe not necessarily in this matchup or in this current state of the matchup, but Petron swings really hard.
Yeah,
Um,
Petron does swing hard,
Just
but
like you were
yeah,
saying with Tusk for the mill, the Petron is that massive swing at the end of the game as well. Here we get the Tusk on the board.
yep, the Tusk is here to survive another turn.
What do we get? The moon, okay.
The moon.
So we're just really, that's a really unfortunate position
Yeah.
to be in.
I mean, Rachel's not gonna be able to get another attack here this turn,
Oh.
so kind of loses a lot of her momentum here.
But thankfully, that we can't get wiped the next turn. Actually, no, yeah, we're safe for the
Yeah.
next turn at least.
Hmm.
Because I'm assuming that Sky's not playing the Lucha. If she was, then that'd be
Yeah.
very different.
Definitely.
That definitely opens up the game for a next turn win here. I
Definitely.
don't know if they are though.
So I think this might just be a pass here.
We got the boss. The boss Luch is it, but I don't know if we have it.
Yeah.
After looking through their deck as Sky was deck searching, I don't think that she plays
No,
it.
I don't think so either. Ooh, boss up the Tusk here and going for the knockout.
Put 16 more and it puts it
Yeah.
at 1. So regardless, I mean, unless we knock out the active, Sky's just 2 energy away from winning the game.
Yeah.
And we got the Sada. Okay, hold
Yeah.
on. Hold on. That's definitely a pause the
Yeah.
game. We're good to go.
Yeah.
And we got
Oh,
the
there's
energy.
other
All
energy.
right.
Yeah, it's just the other tough thing is that I mean Sky pretty much has all the tools that she needs in order to power up the second Drago. So if this was like a turn earlier,
Yeah.
this would have been, this
this
could have
is-
been game for Rachel.
And this is the value of that one of disruption card.
Yep.
Being able to just do that. I guess we Sada, so it doesn't really matter. But
Yep.
there's some way to disrupt, that'd have been super crazy on
Yep.
this turn. Because even with as weak of a board as Rachel has, a disruption card would have just won it.
Yeah, definitely. And Sky gets
Yeah, for
a pretty convincing dub here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
Yeah.
super convincing,
No,
but
but a relatively good matchup for Drago in general.
Yeah.
I feel like on paper people are saying that Ancient Mox is a good matchup into it, but as we've seen over the past 6 months or so since
Yeah.
Worlds, it hasn't really popped up too much.
yeah, definitely. Bryce, we have another game here
Oh,
for sure. And we're
fantastic.
moving into the other game here. As you got the boys, we got Eli and Matt here playing.
And I was very wrong at the start of this broadcast.
Yeah.
I did not see Eli when I walked in, so here he is.
Yeah.
At 1-0.
Yeah,
And we
playing
see
the
him up-
Zard.
And we see him up. Yeah, he's been playing the Zard. Him and I have been talking about it for a while now.
Yeah,
I'm happy to see somebody else at our locals kind of really sleeve it up and really take it take it to the testing ground.
yeah, definitely.
And I feel like even though people may say that the access to the Ogerpon makes the Ogerpon plus Brave Charm makes the Bolt matchup favorable into Zard, I feel like Zard still has it.
Yeah, definitely. And
I
I
feel
mean,
like if Zard's playing vacuum,
yeah.
you're good to go.
and I feel like the Ogre Pond definitely helped me when I played Drago into
Mhm.
Zard, just because the weakness really makes things so much better for it.
Definitely.
Yeah,
And we do. I know. I did see Alex leaving up his deck. He is playing the Sandy Shocks EX. I can't tell if it's for the memes of a throwback to the indie major, or if he's
Yeah.
actually thinking that it's good. It does have some value once Eli gets below that prize threshold.
yeah,
But I feel like in the current state of Raging Bull, it's not super necessary.
yeah. I don't think so either. It's not really that great. Puts another 2 prize liability in play, and
Exactly.
that's not really what we like to see.
100%. And since we're already, I guess you could argue we already have a bunch of 2 prizes on the board, so why not add another? But why not? Why not just limit those
Yeah,
options for sure?
definitely.
And Eli's board is super strong here. I think that even if we can KO the Zard, access to the Thorn makes it good to go.
Yeah, definitely. Access to Thorn makes things crazy, and then being able to loop like something like the Radzard with like the Dusk Noir line will help you to really clean out the game here.
Yeah,
Ooh, and
Radzard really
getting
goes crazy.
Sada here is crazy too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
Definitely needed here. Kind of like we were saying in the last matchup. Now Alec can load up the double bolt for the next 2 turns.
yeah, definitely.
That being said, what is that bolt at? 150.
Yeah,
So it's a Dusknoir away from getting knocked out. Not with the
definitely.
charm though. Yeah.
Ooh, so let's
Yeah,
see what we're
it's actually
looking to
10
do
short on the
here.
Dusknoir with the charm on it.
Yeah. And let's see what Matt's looking to do here. I think he's trying to go for an energy retrieval here, potentially.
He is playing superior, but I don't know if he cut it
Yeah.
at the last second. He
Yeah.
did sleeve it up at the moment.
Okay, so there's a Sada.
A lot of grass in the
Yeah.
Discard, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Is there a world where you vessel away one of the energies and then Sada it back? I mean, I feel like attaching only grass is not great.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be discarding it anyways, there's no real harm into doing
That's
that.
what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think, I think it's okay.
I think so too. I feel like we could have vesseled for a little bit deeper here.
Yeah.
Gotten that extra, what's it called? Fighting or lightning.
Yeah.
Just to be able to more optimally load up that second bolt.
Yeah.
I guess we could discard it for the attack.
Yep, there's the attachment to
Yeah.
return, and that's enough energy now.
It is.
Now that we have the 5 energy in play to knock out this Zard.
So I guess it didn't really matter which one we ended up
Yeah.
choosing, 'cause they're all getting dumped anyway.
Definitely.
So that puts Alec at 4, or at 2, my apologies. But if we can get Thornton, it's kind of just over them.
Yep.
And I don't know what he has in hand. We got Briar, we got Iono, we have the Thornton,
Yeah,
and Candy.
That's crazy.
So if we have enough energy, which
We might actually.
I
I think there's only the 2 energy
I
that
think
I
so
see
too,
there.
it looks like we're good to go.
Yeah.
Thornton up anything, and get into Zard. Actually, yeah, it's a 300.
Oh, and plus we
290.
still have the Fez here to
Yeah,
kind of draw out of this as
Well, I'm
well.
hoping we don't draw like 3 energy here. That'd be
Yeah,
tragic.
that
But it
would
looks
be
like we
tragic.
are good.
Yep, we
So
got
I
the
think
Radzard.
The line is just bounce the Fez, get the Charmander, quick search Zard, Candy, evolve, swing.
Yep. And
Yeah,
let's
we're good
see
to
it in
go.
action. Let's see it. All right, Eli's kind of contemplating here.
Yeah,
I think we've kind of outlined what the optimal
I
play
think
here
so
was.
too. Okay.
Okay. Quick search. Is Thornton in hand?
It is.
It is?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That works too. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thornton was in hand though.
Yeah,
so
Thornton wasn't.
Oh.
Okay. So he knows something that we don't. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
So we only have the 1 energy in
Yeah.
deck.
So 1 energy in deck. Oh wow.
Okay.
That's actually kind of crazy then that you drew into all of that.
Definitely. Holy moly.
Yeah.
That was very fortunate then. In hindsight, not knowing that we had double energy prized, that definitely locks out a lot of plays.
Yeah, definitely. And Eli is able to take a pretty big win here too.
Definitely.
Being able to just keep up with that prize trade against Raging Bolt and take the dub here as he moves on to 2-0.
And that's what people were saying and about the Zard versus Bolt matchup, that Radzard really is the MVP.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's a bit interesting how Zard is going to play this matchup or how Zard evolves post rotation when Radzard's
Yeah.
gone.
That was definitely the thing I was going to be bringing up next. Is I was actually listening to Azul's podcast on the way to work and was saying that, Radzard is really what makes Charizard such a good deck, and like post rotation,
Oh,
like
yeah.
even though like Zard's still gonna be super strong because of how good of a card it inherently is, not having Radzard kind of checks the deck a little bit.
100%. And it really, not that the Goldango matchup is super unfavored on the Zard end, but
Goldango.
But having that fire weakness without Radzard really puts you in an awkward position now that they have Energy Surge. Same with Bolt. Seeing as how you can't get that last prize for that one, or put up a 1 prize board, it's very interesting how Zard is going to evolve. Now people have been talking about how Stage 2 decks might be evolving into that Thorns Evo deck kind of thing, which I'm not too opposed to, but I don't know if it's the best matchup, best combo for Zard.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you, Ryan.
Nice, that was the last game. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
that was the
Nice and
last
quick.
game, and then we have our next set of games here, and let's see what we're thinking of doing here.
Oh, we got Olive versus Eli.
Yeah, I
then
kinda wanna-
Seapow versus Zard.
I kind of want to put that,
classic
even though
matchup.
Eli was just on there.
Yeah,
I
we,
think,
we barely got to see
yeah,
it for sure. We
no.
also got the table 2 is also someone we already had.
yeah,
What was that table 3? Oh, someone we already had.
yeah. I'm down for that. Let's see if there's another matchup we kind of want to see here.
A lot of the ones that I was curious about have already been on stream, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm
So
saying.
we could put. Oh my goodness. Honestly, I don't know.
I just put Kev on there too. Maybe we can put these 2 on here.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was thinking either that or Alex, but he got down paired, so I don't know if that's the best
Yeah.
matchup to put on the stream.
Yeah, for sure. All right, just keep
Sounds
talking,
good.
Adam. I'll be
Yeah,
right back.
For sure. So as we've seen over the past couple games, not some. After that first round, pretty standard decks that we've seen. Sky on the Drago, Rachel on the Ancient Box. We got Kev on the Trolley, and Trevor on the Guardy. But looking at our next matchup here at table 1, Oh, they have the list with me. Okay. So I think we have Olive and Eli on one, Seapow versus Zard, a very classic matchup. Obviously, those decks have definitely changed over the past few months. Not dramatically, but we've seen the fall off of Seapow quite dramatically over the past few months. It used to be incredibly popular, especially in our area, seeing as how CEO Pow pulls up to our locals sometimes with it, or pulled up to our locals sometimes with it. Um, so it's interesting to see how it performs in our current meta. I believe Olive is 2-0. I don't know. I miss middlebacks. Yeah, Freaky Backs goes crazy. I had commented on it. Olive was saying how she was missing, or they were missing a deck, or missing a card from their deck that they're playing 59. I'm like, you're obviously missing the Freaky Backs. It's a no-brainer. I know Dan, innovator of Freaky Backs, legend himself, definitely a big advocate. I'm curious to see. I mean, even though we haven't seen a lot of it, we did see a top 16 something recently. Can't recall exactly what that was. I know that Lucas Zing played it at Worlds, got top 16, but I'm very sure that I had gotten another top similar in the more recent meta. I really don't know how its matchup spread looks like. I mean, it does hit pretty convenient numbers, does hit basic Vs pretty quickly, and we know that Bib historically has been really good card, the disruption neutralizer. So we'll see. Oh my god, whoa, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. Middlebacks. Correction. You've raised him really well. It's too bad that he went off the grid for the past few months. I don't know where he's gone. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the next couple of cups though. I was hoping to go up to the six with you guys. Unfortunately, schedule didn't work out that well. Hopefully I'll see you in San Antonio, boss. Understandable. You know, I don't as an educator, I never advocate for bullying ever, unless we're bullying block lex players. That's okay. All right, what do we got here? Same thing we talked about, Olive and Eli in table one. No worries, no worries. All right, so we are seeing Olive and Eli see Zard. Fantastic. I'm a little bit curious about we're not seeing more Drago. Maybe it's like Brian said. Maybe people are just tired of playing it. I know that once we get to back to the major rotation, we'll see a lot of players pick it back up and maybe even continue to play. For those who've been playing it for a very long time, I over the past few weeks have very heavily debated playing Drago. I know that it's obviously the best deck in the format. I just don't know if I could play it at the level in the mirror match that I would like it to be. I feel like it's a very complicated mirror match, and that if I am going to play Drago, if anyone's going to play Drago, you have to have a firm understanding of how to play that. So here we have, like we've been saying, Eli and Sky. Or Eli and Olive. My apologies. We see the instant mulligan with the double backs in hand. We see Eli with some starter. We got Arvin double Ultra Ball in hand, which is fantastic. Let's see what that starter is looking like, though. We'll see. Now, historically, it's been a pretty good matchup for C-Pow, but from the look on Eli's face, this might be a Radzard start. He has had a lot of Radzard starts over the past couple weeks. I've played against him once or twice, both with the Radzard. I've seen him on stream a couple times, more with the Radzard. So hopefully his face is not telling him what's about to go down here. We'll see.
You guys can start.
So we did see, for an update for Brian, we did see Olive with the mulligan. From the look on Eli's face, I think we're having the Radzard start here. I hope not.
Oh boy.
He does not look very happy. At least when he threw that card down. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I didn't get to see it. But we do have the back or the it's the button. Never mind. Pidgey start. I don't know why he had that face. He's good to go. Maybe his opening hand isn't as good as I thought it was though.
Ooh, and the POW player goes first here. So Olive going first, and this is like classic, like beginning of rotation, like matchup here. POW versus Zard.
Historically it's been POW favored, but with the introduction to Dusknoir, I feel like it's just gonna throw it off the map here. I don't know. With being able to go first, we've seen Zard not historically, but recently wanting to go first. But Eli's hand is set up to go second for sure. He's ready to go.
Definitely. And just lining up all of these water energies here.
It's very interesting. I'm curious how this is going to play out. with these new pieces included in it.
Definitely.
I really we don't see it very often. Do you remember, other than Worlds, what was the event that CPAL ended up getting like top 16 at? I can't recall. It
Um,
was recent.
I mean, I think. Well, I mean, whenever G Shen was playing
No,
PAL.
like really recently, like
Oh,
the
recently?
past few majors besides Worlds.
Oh, I think.
It had gotten it somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was Louisville.
Okay, maybe
Yeah, might have been.
out of nowhere for
Yeah, I
sure.
do remember seeing that.
It was definitely
Yeah,
somewhere. I just can't recall where.
yeah,
Definitely over the past few month or two, which is again kind of popping out of nowhere because CPAL's kind of fallen off the planet.
yeah, definitely.
I think. What do you? Is it really just the introduction of Dusknoir that really just pushed it out?
Yeah, that, and I guess like some of the turbo decks kind of like pushed it out as well, just because they're able to take the two prizes so much
Hmm.
faster than POW can. There's like stuff like that, so yeah, it's kind of
Understandable.
hard to uptrade too when like your only other single prize attacker is Radiant Greninja.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll see. We'll see. Eli's got a pretty strong start here for sure.
yeah,
He's ready. He's
definitely,
ready to go.
definitely.
We are going to Ultra Ball, win another Ultra Ball. I'm assuming he's going to get a Pidgey here or another Dusk or a
Yeah,
Duskull. One, either or not another Pidgey. It's going to be a Duskull for sure.
yeah. Do we know if Eli plays Manaphy?
When I had talked to him last, no, he didn't.
Okay.
I'm hoping he changed. I'm hoping I convinced him because I've been
Yeah,
a big advocate for it
yeah.
in Zard. But
Oh,
it looks like if he plays the Clef, I doubt he's playing
yeah.
the Manaphy as well.
Yeah, and I'm definitely a big supporter of playing the Manaphy.
Me too.
I know Dan in the chat is a big supporter of playing Manaphy and was trying to get Trevor to play Manaphy, but
I feel
yeah,
like I don't know if it pushes decks over the edge, but I feel like in Zard especially, Manaphy is a must.
yeah,
The threat of getting Kyurem out of the game is just it's just too much.
yeah, definitely. And I think it's an interesting development in the meta because I feel like when Shrouded Fable and like early Stellar Crown, it felt like Manaphy wasn't really that good of a
Hmm.
card, just because like you know. There's like no point of playing it when
Yeah,
Dust Noir is always gonna be knocking it out.
exactly.
But when you play it now, it's like Dust Noir is not as prevalent, but there's still a lot of good uses for stuff like Manaphy.
So we're hoping for some sort of ball search or CPOW to
Yeah,
get this first attacker rolling.
yeah, and I do like this play from Olive to just grab to put the to put the energy onto the barrel because it allows her to really get more damage onto the board here.
And we saw all of 6 cards. The first 5 pretty mediocre, but that 6 card,
Yeah, it was the
the
pow,
CPOW,
the
so
sea pow.
ready to go.
Yeah,
Definitely no gust available, no access to gust at all really. So we're just gonna see a pitchy KO here, which is
yeah.
still just as good. However, if we can get Death Band, that CPOW's gone.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing I was going to kind of mention like next is because even though Olive wasn't able to get a gusting card to take out something like the Rotom or like something like Radiant Greninja, um, got to be careful about the potential of something like the Zard with Death Band. Ooh, and I
And
like this.
I was just about to say
I
the same
love this
thing. I
play.
like it as well
I
because
love
in the
this play.
past, taking the first prize of CPOW, especially in Azard,
Yeah.
is if they have access to the death bench, it's a death sentence. So
Yes.
I'm really glad that we elected to just do nothing. We do have the Dust Skull, so we could pop, swing, but that makes it like go an extra step further to get that off.
Definitely. I do love this play. And
Me too.
Irida in hand as well. So as long as Olive's hand doesn't get disrupted, there could be a potential play for the Radiant Greninja here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm curious what route Eli elects to take here because there's
Yeah.
a possibility of just like dumping your hand and getting so much
Yeah.
value.
And I think Eli's able to get the the rare candy, Pidgeot rare candy Zard play now that both rare candy, Forest Steel Stone, and Ultra Ball are in hand.
100%.
Yeah.
The question is, what could we go? What could we do even one step past that?
Yeah.
Can we get the CPOW KO this turn? It's not impossible.
Yeah.
Um,
It's definitely
but
tough.
it's gonna be tough. I agree.
Yeah.
We shall see. Actually, I don't know if he has
I
access
don't
to it.
think
I think
so.
we're just gonna see a 180 swing and
Yeah.
a potential cleanup with Duskull next
Yeah.
turn.
And it's not like it's the end of the world here, just
Definitely.
because unless this Duskull gets targeted, punch for 180, and then Dusclops will be able to take 2 prizes, and then 2 more prizes can be taken from there. So
Exactly.
definitely not the end of the world here for Eli, but definitely kind of a tough decision to be made. So
We
there's a
shall
rare
see.
candy
I think
play
yeah, they're
here.
definitely seeing this the Candy Zard, Candy Pidgeot, Candy Zard.
Yeah.
What can Olive do to respond to it? We'll see.
Yep.
Got a lot of cards here. A lot of water energy as well. So
Yeah,
I
a
think
lot of
that
water energy.
if we are swinging with Zard, it's definitely getting taken out
Yep,
next turn.
absolutely.
Which in that case, honestly, puts Olive in a pretty good position.
Definitely.
We'll see.
And I'm wondering if we're going to see the Force Seal Stone get popped here.
I mean, is there a world where we don't even get Zard on the board here? I mean, I feel like we have to.
Yeah, I think so too.
Definitely. Now, even at the expense of Seal Stone. But it looks like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
didn't see what Eli got there.
Yeah.
Still.
Ooh, attach return.
Interesting.
Whoa. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
So,
Very
yeah.
interesting.
So I think here now, Olive is, as long as Radiant Greninja isn't prized here, I feel like Olive just retreats out and goes for a Greninja play here.
Possible Mander for sure. Yeah. Very interesting. I'm curious. I mean, maybe he just didn't have access, didn't want to
Yeah.
overextend. I mean, he
It's-
definitely,
it's-
definitely able to get it, but at what expense, right?
Yeah, definitely an interesting play here. And then it's like, if something like the Greninja is prized here, you can always go for something like Iron Hands as well.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
we do see the Ninja, and I think that's
Yeah.
If with having access to it, definitely just drop it.
Absolutely, and I 1000% agree too. Just because you're able to do stuff like follow up here, like use the Greninja and then follow up with hands if you really want to.
I'm curious to see if we Ultra Ball Candy into a second Bax or Ultra Ball for a Bib.
I like the bib here.
Yeah, I think you can't go wrong with either.
Yeah.
I think that seeing as how the Bax isn't duskable, I feel like it's probably just better to get the Bib
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
If we do choose to do that. We're to go for the Ninja. Get the +2, +1, I guess.
Yep.
Into another Superior and Pelk. Okay, don't have the Pelk V on the border yet, so that V-Star not necessarily the most valuable.
Yeah.
But we have a crazy amount of energy in hand.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
And we have double Superior, so that Zard, or whatever we choose to KO, is gone.
Yep, definitely.
The question is it just a Pidgey, or do we pass again?
Yeah, I
I
think
think we have to go for the KO here.
I think
yeah.
you go just double Mander here, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason not to at that point. I mean, we could go...
Ooh, bib.
Could get rid of the Duskull as well, but I feel like double Mander is just too juicy to,
Yeah.
to pass up on.
Definitely. Because, I mean, it forces you to have to play like something like Thornton in order to put the Charmander back into play.
Exactly, but we do have access to the Quick Search and the Stone, so it's definitely possible.
Definitely, yeah.
And Fish in deck, hopefully. I didn't see if it was prized or not.
Yeah.
But that being said, I don't know if putting Fish in play is the best move.
Okay, so we see the 2. Oh, and the 3.
And Eli and I did talk about the potential of not playing Collapse. Well, he was like, if you're not playing Collapse, what do you do with your 2 prizes? And I'm just like, don't play them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't got to play Fish, don't play it. I feel like Rotom's always coming down, so that's going to be your 1-2 prize liability, but there's definitely a good chance of just not playing fast, not playing Fish, if you can get rolling fast enough.
Definitely. All right, and we see another Frigibax come back onto the bench here, and I think from this play on here, you just retreat into the Radiant Greninja, and then you take the double knockout with the Moonlight Shuriken.
Definitely. And how did Olive get that the one closest to the prize, the Frigibax closest to the prize? Was it a nest ball?
Yeah.
So
Oh no, Buddy Poffin.
Thank you. 'Cause I was gonna say if it was nest ball, why wouldn't we have elected to go for a second C-Pow?
Yeah, definitely.
But with Poffin, definitely the move. So we'll see how Eli. We're eyeing the Thornton. Definitely
Yeah.
the move. It seems like we're to go for the Thornton for everything. Basically, just dump the whole hand.
Yeah.
So we're to quick search. I'm assuming swap out the Pidge.
Yeah, and
It already
then
has the energy on
yep,
it.
and then use the stone for rare candy.
Because we have the double Zard in hand, so we're good to go.
Definitely.
All right, so
The only thing that kind of is not really great with this play now is that there's a 1 prizer in the active.
exactly,
Yeah.
I 100% agree. So even though it's taking out a major one, that way, I don't know, it's having to KO in the 1 prize is just not great. In this
I know
matchup.
it's so bad, but I mean, there's other ways around it. You know, like the Duskull can kind of help out with that as well. So, ooh, taking out. Okay.
Why do you think Eli elected to go for the road for the
Just
Rotom
take out
rather
the
than two-prizer, right?
liability. Yeah,
Sure,
just take out the
sure.
liability.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely can support that play.
That's very interesting. So now, like you were saying, we're definitely just going for the 1 prize knockout. And how does Olive respond? I mean, we do
Yeah.
have a crazy loaded hand, and plenty of energy to spare.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the access to the Superior is just not good.
Yeah.
Not good for Eli, that is.
All right, and we see after the shuffle here, we're probably going to get the retreat off of the Pidgey into the Zard, and that will
Definitely.
knock out the Greninja.
We do have a well, hold on. We got boss.
Yeah, but Thornton was played already.
Oh,
Yeah,
duh.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, supposed to go for the one prizer.
I know. I was looking at that too, and I was like, oh wait, we do have the Gus, but it's like, nope, we need the Thornton in order to play the game.
And bug catchers, no, Olive is playing prime catcher, not secret box.
Yeah,
And Eli is playing stamp. As opposed to
yeah.
the trolley or in a different build case, secret box for Zard as
Yep.
well. But no, Olive is definitely playing prime catcher, which I think honestly is the move
Yeah.
if you do choose to play CPAL. Just rotting back double energy ninja, fantastic. No other real options. Just gonna shivery chill, back those two, and we're just gonna start loading up.
Yep.
Because that Zard has been at this point. What does Eli do here? I mean, if that Zard's getting taken down, Thornton's already gone.
Yeah.
No Mander on the bench.
You could
This
probably
is not looking great.
Yeah, you could probably just prime catcher or something like that to put the Greninja back in play or something like that.
Well, no, Eli's playing Stamp, no?
Oh, no, I'm talking about Olive.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, getting there. Okay, I see what you
Yeah.
mean.
But I guess you can always just
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think the prime catcher is primed or it's prized.
I think even having access to it isn't just KO and Zard definitely the move.
Yeah, I would say so. But if you wanted to force up that one prizer again, that's also an option as
Sure.
well. Yeah. All right, so you see the draw 2 here, Night Stretcher,
And
and
Fez.
Fez. That's kind of huge.
That's major.
Yeah.
We probably don't bench Fez just yet. We probably do
Yeah.
it for the next turn after this,
Yeah.
after the C-Pal gets wiped, that we get more out. Because we have the Stretcher as well, so I mean, really don't need it to draw anything.
Yeah, definitely.
Now we're loading up on these energies here, priming up for the Zard KO, which is ready to
Yep.
go. No problems here.
And then we do have another energy in
Yeah.
hand, and that would get put in there. 6 energy is all you need to get the knockout here. And the Hailblade for 6 energy for 360 damage goes on to the Charizard EX. And Olive is in prime position to win this game here.
Man, this is giving me some flashbacks, some Vietnam flashbacks.
Yeah.
This is reminding me of playing against Reagan or Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'm playing against C-Pal, where it's neck and neck, and it would just get blown up because
Yeah.
the C-Pal has the advantage here. I mean, having access to so many energy is just insane.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean the really good CPOW players, like they play it really well. They pilot this deck like it's muscle memory. It's kind of crazy to see.
Definitely. I mean, when you talk about sequencing, this deck's the level of sequencing that you need for this deck is insane sometimes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, not necessarily in this game right now, but historically, being able to set up your energies perfectly has been difficult, but also very rewarding if you're able to do it.
Definitely agree. And what do you think you kind of grab here? Do you think like there's like a play here that you would think is optimal? Do you think you go for like a Radzard onto the Baxcalibur?
I don't know, man.
yeah.
It's super scary in the position that Eli's in right now because not being very willing to evolve that second pitch, because why would you?
Yeah.
And having that Duskull on the bench is just ninja food.
Yeah, definitely.
So I feel like you're right. I think you have to go for like attached to Radzard, gust up backs, and hopefully they don't have it.
Yeah.
That has to be it, I feel.
Yeah, and it's tough too because as soon as you play something like that, like you knock out the backs and you use the Radzard for it, all it does is like you can't even attack the next turn, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what more value can you get out of it in,
Yeah.
in the future turns?
Exactly.
Looking like we're gonna stamp,
Yeah, the stamp is fine here, but I mean
but that's your
the
quick search.
barrel, it's like
Yeah.
the barrel kind of makes it.
Like you're using quick search for it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to extend past that turn, assuming you draw like average.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah. I mean, it's like he has to, but what is he really looking for?
Yeah, that's tough.
I guess there is a world, and this is not a great one, where you get like counter catcher, energy, candy, Neuer,
Yeah.
and you pray that they don't draw what they need, not having bib.
Yeah.
Like you KO the bib, gust up the ninja, right? KO
Mhm.
both, put you at 3. But Olive just needs 1 at that point.
I know.
Mean, there aren't that many routes to get Eli out of this, I feel. He has to draw something crazy. We got Mander, Rod, Stretcher,
Counter catcher.
CC.
Yeah.
All right, I mean, this is definitely doable.
Yeah, definitely.
The question is, does Olive have to follow up? Which, looking at the board, it's very likely. At this point, we gotta just gust up the bib then, no? Not even the backs anymore.
Yeah, I think the bib, yeah. I would agree with that.
The Stretcher.
Yeah, Stretcher can get you
stretching for
energy.
the energy is just not
Yeah.
great. I mean, it's your only Stretcher in the deck. You
Yeah.
have to do it at this point, though.
You have to in order to have any sort of momentum, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. It still has Super Rod, right?
Do we Arven for a Poffin rod back
Yeah,
and
that's what I was
Charmanders
about
and
to
run them
say.
both out?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that could be the play.
I think that probably is
Yeah.
right.
I don't even know. Does he have another Poffin? Oh, there's a nest
Nah,
ball.
there's a nest
Oh,
ball and that's
boy.
it. Oh man, so we
Oh,
prize what double
boy.
Poffin then?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yep. That's
What was
tough.
he getting there? The candy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Candy and Defiance Band. Okay.
Just to get out of the deck, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if it's gonna get much use now that we're already past that 2 price threshold for
Yeah.
Zard. It's it's one shot and everything if you can get it back on the board.
There's a lot of water energy in that deck. I want to know what Olive has in hand currently.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen it at all yet,
Yeah.
right? She drew, put them down, and then just
Yeah.
kept on watching. So we'll see. I mean, quite frankly, it doesn't really matter with those 2 cards. Like we're drawing
Yeah,
3 more anyway,
Exactly.
or I guess however many we're drawing off of these next couple
Mhm.
turns, the next couple plays. We shall see. I mean, I didn't see what Eli had in hand. We got the death.
Okay, so there's a Buddy Poffin and an Ultra Ball in that hand currently.
Okay.
So whatever Olive draws off the top here, you can Ultra Ball away and then Bib for 5. Never mind, because that Bib is getting knocked out.
Yeah, definitely the right play. Here we
Yeah.
go. So I'm curious. We didn't have the Poffin, that's why. Okay.
Yeah,
So he ended up grabbing the nest ball, correct?
I think so.
Okay, so we're just
Yeah.
nest ball the 1 Charmander to the
Yeah.
board, get those 2 energy back.
I do like this play just because Bibarel is kind of like the big part about this deck too. So being able to take it out of play will kind of give Eli a little bit more time to get his board back to developed.
Unfortunately, Arctic, I am
Yeah.
not Dan.
Yeah, Dan is not here currently. I think Dan's still in chat, but
He should be. I
Yeah.
know he had a doctor's appointment. He was saying
Yeah.
today, so he wasn't able to make it.
yeah, unfortunately.
I am just the temp.
Ooh, but the Fez could get there.
Fez can go crazy.
Yeah.
We shall see. So we Ultra Ball the hand away.
Yep.
To get those 3 cards. So what are we looking for here? I mean,
We are looking for 3 energy.
Yeah. Superior plus
yeah,
bulk.
or superior and 2 bulk cards. Or we could just raw draw 3 energy.
Let's go off the Tizzy triple energy with about 99% of our energy in discard. We're
Yeah.
still gonna draw.
I know,
3.
right?
Letter of encouragement. my
Letter
man. I
of
love seeing
encouragement. That would be fire.
Here we go. The
All
moment of
right,
truth. Boom.
moment of truth.
Whole bunch of
Oh,
no.
Irida.
I thought that was something else. Here we go. Yeah. Now
there we go.
Oh, no.
Perfect.
Bueno. And then
Just
we just
discard
got
one
it.
more
Yeah,
card.
Oh, come on. Not the hand. There you go.
Oh, tough matchup there. Bryce,
Yeah.
we have another game? Perfect. All right, we're
Fantastic.
transitioning
How
to
is
our
that?
other game where we have Lane and Sky. So Sky we just had on playing Regidrago, going against Lane playing Goldengo, and this was actually a matchup that I played against in Toronto. And I
How do you
actually
feel about it?
I played Little Dark Fury.
Really?
Yeah.
That's random.
I know, it's so funny. He's such a good guy. I love Little Dark Fury. And he destroyed me. I
Really?
got destroyed by Little Dark Fury.
Was that? Oh, okay. Was that more of a matchup thing, or was it you didn't draw one?
No,
you
I
just
did.
went
I did
crazy?
not. Yeah, he went crazy. I
Oh,
mean,
man.
he played the Togekiss version,
Sure.
and he was able to. He didn't hit any heads until the one that counted
Oh,
to
man,
take 3 prizes at the end of the game.
That's the way it goes. Like people have
Yeah.
been saying it. Well, first of all, the debate between Kiss versus Palkia, I think it's a no-brainer. I feel
Yeah.
like you gotta play the Kiss.
Oh yeah,
Second, people have been saying, "Well, I mean, you're not gonna roll all the heads." I'm like, "All you gotta roll is one."
all you
man."
got to do is roll one.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yep.
matter if you whip those first 2. If you get 3
Yeah.
at the end, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
That's what I was just saying. It's like, I mean, he hit the one that mattered, and that's
Exactly.
what got it. And I think
Sky won.
Sky won.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
we just got the very end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of a good transition then into our next topic. Then I guess.
How ice.
Yeah. I guess a good transition is, I guess, like talking about how wide the meta is. There's a lot of decks that have really gotten a lot of momentum going forward, and I think Goldengo is one of them. And it actually made the graphic.
It did.
Yeah,
No, I don't think it's a major surprise. I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised that it wasn't higher.
Yeah.
I feel like it's while it is noted as like a meme Pokemon, it's super relevant right
Yeah.
now with the Energy Search Pro.
yep,
And I feel like I'm surprised there weren't more believers that rose up.
yeah, definitely. And I think the highest Goldengo
It was
placement,
like top 64,
yeah, top
no?
64,
Like 40 something. I thought I
yeah.
saw.
So there were 2, 62nd and 63rd,
Oh,
both
there you
played
go. Okay.
Goldengo. And let me see, one of them played the Palkia line with the eSearch Pro. And I think if you play the Palkia line, you don't play the Togekiss line.
No, not at
I think
all.
you have to
I'd be
pick one or the
surprised.
other one. Oh,
Yeah.
so each build played one played the Togekiss line, the other one played Palkia line.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
yeah, so
So we see some, pretty similar success from both. I
yeah,
feel like in the long run, if you do elect to choose one versus the other, I would have to lean towards the Kiss,
yeah,
though.
definitely.
Even though you are coin flipping, all you got to hit is 30%. I mean, those are some pretty good numbers, I feel.
Yeah. And to Arctic, for EUIC, I'm trying to think about that too, because I'm currently registered for EUIC as well, and I just played Regidrago to Toronto this past weekend. I guess it kind of depends on how this next set goes, because the EV set's coming up, buy your sealed product at Nerd Rage Gaming. But the new Badoo comes out in that set, and that's like the item lock one. It's like a baby Pokemon free retreat. It does 10 damage with no energy cost, and it's item lock. So, depending on how popular that card could kind of take people off of playing Regidrago because, item lock is very strong. Like we've seen that item lock has kind of kicked other decks out of the format, kind of like Chen Pao, because when your deck kind of relies all on items, it's pretty much like the strat that locks you out of the game. So Regidrago definitely can be a good play, and I think it will be either way, just because, if a deck is good, it'll adapt. But at the same time, you never know. So
Definitely. And
yeah.
I never really clarified this, but I'm like 99% sure. The festival will not be legal for San Antonio. I think it comes
No.
out the week before, which means it'll be legal the
Yeah.
week after,
Yeah, so it will
which I'm very
be
happy about.
yeah, it will be legal for EUIC though.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I honestly, other than the obvious like mega posts about the evolution cards, I haven't really done too much research about
Yeah.
the set list outside of Badoo.
Yeah.
And I
So
feel like that card's even though we just talked about it, I feel like it's gonna be a super relevant card.
yeah,
At least in that tournament.
definitely. And I think with the Champions League that's coming up, I don't remember when it is,
Uh,
but there is a
this
champion.
weekend?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
But
this or next.
yeah, there is a Champions League coming up, and apparently, like Badoo's been all over Japan.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's hard
yeah,
not to. It's hard not to. And the card seems absolutely disgusting.
yeah,
I mean, it's splashable in quite literally everything,
yep,
and it's good into quite literally everything.
yeah,
So it's about finding out either the new deck that isn't as reliant on item cards, or adapting a current deck and be a little bit less reliant.
yeah. So it
I'm
means
curious to see how it goes.
we might be back to playing Lugia.
Hey man, I had that sleeved up ready to go for today as
Yeah,
well.
I
I'm
left
all
it at home.
about that. Here
I
we
was
go.
about to bring it after seeing Kieran get ninth place with it.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah,
as much hate as Lugia does get, I think it's pretty fun.
yeah,
It does get super frustrating when you don't when you get Lugia hands, but when you
yeah,
don't, and you're going crazy.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Damn,
Japanese list
that
with the
sounds
Drago and
sick.
4 Crispin.
You know what? Bring back.
That's kind of crazy.
That is pretty
Yeah,
crazy. I love the sound of that, though.
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
I love when we have some crazy innovation into a new format, especially with some super warping cards
Yeah.
like Badoo.
And I've seen the Power Glass tool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
some
saw that
people have been
list.
playing that too because when you put the energy in the discard, the Power Glass can add another one
Yeah, you're
to the
playing like
Pokemon.
the 3 or 4 research with
Yeah.
like crazy energy and
You
just
know what?
power glassing it.
Regidrago isn't dead. I
Oh,
think
definitely
yeah,
not.
it's
Yeah.
definitely I think it's probably a fine play.
It's gonna be very interesting. I'm
Yeah.
curious to see how I want to see the cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah,
I want to see what's
definitely.
going on because I am not a deck. I'm not very innovative myself. I kind of just copy paste.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what the cooks are doing with this new format. I'm sure they're already playtesting with some proxies.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll kind of see how it is. I think we do have a couple more events in this format, I guess moving into the new year, like San Antonio. And then are you going to San Antonio? I
I
forget.
am. I
You
am. It's
are.
my first major of the New Year's.
Yeah.
Second major of the year. I managed to make it to Baltimore. Had some very unfortunate luck. So I'm hoping to bounce back with
Yeah.
some Zard believers in San Antonio. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna lock in with that. I don't see myself really playing anything else.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, when it's like the deck that you kind of know how to play the best, you might as well lock it in too. So,
Yeah, something I was telling Dan last week is
yeah.
even though it's more than a mediocre Draco matchup, I feel like against the average Joe,
Yeah.
I have a pretty good chance against anybody.
Yeah. And then Jade, shout out to you. Thanks for coming through, watching the VODs and the commentaries. So appreciate you for coming out here.
Double fisting the NRG
Yeah.
content. I love to hear it.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
I do here and now
Yeah.
rewatch the VODs, especially when I'm on the stream.
Yeah, definitely.
More for gameplay purposes, more than for calling back to my casting. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely. And back when I was like before I was even doing this every week, on the off chance that I was on the stream too, I'd always like to watch back my games too, just to see like my decision making and what the commentators thought of it as well. So, yeah,
Arctic,
definitely.
that's a crazy good question.
Yeah.
So I have not gotten any one-on-one coaching myself since I started playing. I was texting some friends about highly considering it leading up to San Antonio,
Yeah.
and the only factor that really mattered to me was, well, not the only, one of a couple of factors was one, does this person play the deck that I want to play
Yep.
as much as I do? If they're flopping in between decks, while they may be a very intelligent player, they may not have the knowledge of the deck that you want to play specifically.
Yeah,
That being
definitely.
said, if you're looking for a coach and you think about playing Drago, you really can't go wrong with any of the main players who are finding a lot of success. As long as the coaching schedule works well for you and the time zones work well for you, you can't really go wrong with any of the top players.
Yeah, definitely. And I 1,000% agree with that. Going into Peoria, I actually did get coaching from Gabe Smart, and it was definitely kind of like that thing that Adam just said. Like I picked him because I know he was a good Lugia player, and that's the deck that I played to that event. Um, and yeah, it's like making sure you pick a coach that plays the deck that you play, as well as with the schedule thing. Like he lives in the West Coast, so he was 2 hours behind. So I was getting like coaching sessions at like 10 p.m. So that was definitely something that I didn't really like that much. But you kind of find a coach that has like one of those free like get to know me
Mm-hmm.
sessions,
The
just because you can
consultations.
kind of see like what their style is, how they like to teach, and that could definitely be something that can kind of stray you from one person to another. So, um, you know, we don't really recommend certain people over others because we don't really know what your learning style is. But
Exactly. Or your play style
yeah, or
necessarily,
or your price range, because there's some
True.
coaches out there that get kind of expensive.
Definitely.
If you ever seen like Tord gets like he gets kind of expensive on the coaching scene too. So I would just say if you go on the Metafy website, just go through like the top coaches on the website. Um,
I will
and
say,
yeah, see with that.
don't be super afraid of the buy-in for it, because even though I didn't get one-on-one coaching, I did sign up for Tord's Dragapult course before NAIC,
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
even though I didn't end up playing it to NAIC, I paid for my was I don't know, it was like 30 or 50 bucks for the
Yeah,
1 hour, and I sat there in that call listening to him talk for 3.5 hours.
yeah,
So even though I didn't get as much value as I wanted to out of it, I definitely got a time value out of it.
yeah.
He was yapping it up, value yapping, not just some nonsense yapping. So 3.5 hours of Tord talking was definitely worth my money
Yeah,
regardless.
and that's a good thing that you bring up too, because even though like the masterclass thing has been kind of like controversial, if you see that there are top players holding a masterclass about a deck that you like to play, even though you won't get that one-on-one kind of coaching on like how to play the deck or like stuff like that, but if you just have like simple questions or you like hearing what the questions that other people have, kind of just like sitting there and absorbing all the content that they have
Yeah,
is also really big too. And a lot of those players, they put in a lot of time like developing those master classes. So you know that they are giving you like a good product here.
absolutely.
So looks like we are getting the last round here. Are you doing fine? Do you need a bathroom break or
Yeah,
something
I'm
like
gonna go
that?
to the bathroom real
Yeah,
quick
if
for
you
sure.
wanted to, if you want to
For
set this
sure.
up.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
set up the last rounds and then I'll keep yapping it up while you're coming through here. Yeah.
There's no 3-0 matchup.
Yeah. So just put whoever you want. Yeah. But yeah, definitely. Like I think coaching is definitely a very overlooked thing, and I think it can definitely give you some really solid fundamentals, and it can kind of teach you some things that you kind of don't see in your own play. Like I remember when I first got it, um like any of the people that I've gotten coaching from, they've definitely given me like a good skeleton list to work off of, as well as kind of given me lines to like each matchup, which is really something that I valued a lot when preparing for like a big event, because like knowing like the decks that you should expect to be playing against, as well as some like ways to beat certain matchups could be really great. Like for example, like the Lugia matchup into Lost Box, right? Like in the time that I've gotten coaching, I've been told like, oh yeah, try to like force hands right away, and then try to uptrade with like the single prizers, or like I've been told in previous formats before Iron Hands came out, it's like try to take as many prizes as you can with the big Lugia, and then you can try to like either use like the Tyranitar V to mill cards, or you can use the Stonejourner as like a good one prizer to kind of like flip your prize trade in your favor. So there's a lot of really great things, like good perspectives that other people can provide, and that could really help you improve as a player. So that's definitely something that I value a lot. And going into like, I mean, I haven't gotten like any sort of coaching in the last couple events because I've been trying to see if I could just sharpen up my own play. But it's definitely something I will consider going on into the future, just because I'm always looking for a way to get better. and that's the best way to do it. You got to slam the door. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. All right, so what do we have here, Adam?
So we didn't have a natural 3-0, 3-0 matchup here, so I put
don't
Sky
worry
and
about it.
Olive at table 1.
Cool.
We got some memery and some very interesting matchups, and then ended up putting Elias and Kev on 2.
Okay, cool.
I did want to see more of that trolley matchup and
Yeah.
in a bit more of a natural game state
Yeah.
rather than getting item locked off the rip.
Definitely.
And Elias is playing Palkia Dusknoir.
Palkia
But
Dusknoir.
that'd be a pretty cool matchup.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll see. Honestly, it's very rare to say that we have a Drago versus C-Pow matchup for higher. Hold on, I do not think Olive is 3 or hold on. No, Sky is 2 and 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny about that? I think we've seen this matchup being played ever since NAIC. when Moffitt played it against Jake, was it Jackson I, who was like kind of one of those people who put Drago on the map first.
That's true. He is the OG Dragoer at NAIC. That was talk about a development, man. That was a crazy call.
Definitely.
'Cause that was Kieranless, no?
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. Oh, hold on.
Oh, we got the shuffle going on.
And the
here.
hard shuffle. Not even a cut. We're
Yeah.
going for the hard shuffle.
Whoa, rippling her deck. That's crazy.
Out of pocket.
What? Rippling her deck. That's crazy. Imagine you offer cut and
I'm
someone
not
just
gonna
starts
lie,
rippling
man.
your deck.
I'm not gonna lie, man. If someone does it to me, I'm stopping them on the
Dude,
spot.
someone did it to me once, bro.
No
Someone did
way.
it to me once. I thought it was wild.
I'm not gonna. I'd be pretty bothered by that.
Yeah.
I would at least like an offer first before actually just straight up just taking my deck and riffling it.
Yeah.
Give me a normal cut. Yeah, it hurts my
Yeah.
soul, mine too.
Yeah.
You know, even though you could make the argument like, hey man, you chose to play high rarity.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I'm like, at least give me some respect, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. All right, so we see the double nest ball come here from Sky.
Yeah,
And it
double
seems,
IC nest ball. Come on now.
Yeah.
Holy.
Seems like we're getting the squawk here.
Olive making the same comment that I am. It seems like double nest ball, double IC nest ball off the rip is pretty sick.
Yeah, definitely.
And we got the Billy. So that's a pretty solid start. Not we do have the Fez in the active, but aside from that, we got a pretty solid start.
Yeah, you see, Olive's playing Thornton.
Olive is playing Thornton.
Yeah, that's
Olive's
kind of
playing some
fire.
Sky won the coin from
Yeah.
GG. Honestly, it's not a out of pocket comment.
Yeah,
I mean, we got the
kind of true.
You got the Kyurem in the discard already. I didn't get a good. I saw double Iono, but that's all
Yeah.
I really saw. Drago Vessel, fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
So on Sky's end, we are cooking.
Definitely,
With the exception of the Fez active, we are almost as good as we could be.
definitely.
Let's see if we can get maybe a Cleffa. That'd be pretty sick.
Yep.
Not that we'd be able to attack, but at least put a one prize around the
Yeah,
active.
definitely. And something that I want to see from Olive's side is to probably just keep just only one prizers in play, right? Like you only want. Well, I mean, you kind of need to have at least something, but ooh.
Oh. I ain't got a good look at Olive's
Yeah.
so I can't really see what the move is here. It looks like we don't have any Puffin. Can't get multiple Friggy on the board.
One of the advantages though that Pau kind of has here is kind of like with Goldengo, right? Where like if on your turn one, you have the option to only have one prizers in play, right?
Definitely.
So being able to just do that with your deck is like so nice because like you don't have to you won't lose like the 2 prize liability to like the turbo deck right away unless it's like Iron Hands or something like that. But that's definitely something I like seeing.
Money Mara, good to see. Good to hear you. Good to hear from you as well, my man. You know, I got a chance to talk to you last night or 2 nights ago. Haven't seen you in a minute.
Yeah.
Miss you, my man. Hopefully we'll get some dinner over break or something. Right now though, who's cooking? As far as decks go, Olive's
cooking. Yeah,
Olive is definitely cooking.
It's funny because I was talking to Olive last night because you wanted to play my Drago deck, and I was like, yeah, you can play it. I'll build whatever list you want. But then I get a DM this morning right as I'm getting ready for work, and it's like, "Do you think you can build this?" I was like, "I'm getting ready for work. Like, I got a long day at the hospital today, and you want to play C-Pow?" I was like, I don't got those cards right now."
Yeah, definitely don't.
And it was so funny.
Don't.
So,
oh man.
oh boy.
All right, not the best mail, but we do already have our 2 main attackers in the discard, so not the end of the world.
Yep. Research.
Mega research. Getting rid of a lot of supporters.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Iono count is in the deck. I'm assuming it's 2.
Probably
so,
2. Yeah. Oh, but never punished. We got Ogerpon, we have Energy, and we have E-Switch, and we have Ultra Ball.
Holy moly.
This is insane.
Sheesh. But we don't have an energy to retreat.
That's true.
Still, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we needed one more energy. That'd have been great.
Yeah.
But it is okay. Ultra Balling 4? What are we thinking here?
Probably you gotta get the V-Star here,
For
right?
sure. Are we gonna V-Star and just start? Are we just gonna V-Star?
I think you kind of have to be honest.
Yeah. Is there? I mean,
Oh, actually,
I
no,
don't
you
know
don't
if you-
need
I don't know
to.
if you have to.
Yeah, I don't think you have to.
It does set up Olive for a really explosive turn, but it'd be very unlikely that we get what? Like we need like prime 6 energy or 5 energy.
Yeah, something like
I think
that.
it's 6.
Oh wow, we are going for the V-Star
All
here.
right, we're and all right, so
Ooh. Oh, the switch off the tizzy.
we got to go for what? Switch Vestal. We have the E switch. All we need is the
Yeah.
switch and whatever else we want.
Switch, and you can probably go switch and Drago V.
Man, is there some nasty stuff going on where we just cure him Olive off the board?
Yeah.
I think it's very possible. I don't know if it's the best use of our reresources,
No,
but I feel
but
like
that
it
Bidoof
just-
actually gets protected
That's
with
right.
the ability.
You know what? When I first started playing, I think I was playing Lost Box,
Yeah.
and I played against Dan Hugar at a cup,
Yeah.
and he was playing something with Bidoof. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was the Gyarados EX list with the Bidoofs. I'm like, oh man, you got double Bidoof? Hey, it's ninja food, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, pop. He's like, oh, actually, man, you just kind of wasted your attack.
Yeah.
So, kind of coming back to haunt me here, but we are. Okay. So
Oh,
we are going to cure
wow.
him, but hit the Palk instead.
Interesting.
I mean,
So I don't like this play
why is that?
because I don't like using Curum when you use V-Star.
Fair enough.
Because
that's a
I've
lot
been
of
punished.
resources.
I've been punished by this so many times. But I can understand why Sky did it because, like, inherently is a good play, right?
100%.
Because, like, if you just draw well enough, you'll get everything you need.
That's a pretty good research, or pretty good Pokestop.
Yeah.
Though we are lacking a lot of water energy.
Yes, we
so
are lacking
we
a lot of
shall.
water energy.
I'm curious to see how Olive approaches this next turn,
Yes.
or this turn. I guess right now we'll see.
Yep.
The
but-
lack of energy, lack of access to energy is very, very scary.
Yes. But
So do we get the Frigi back? It has to be, right?
yeah, I think we need to. You need to have some sort of, and I like getting the two retreat cost fridge back because it has 70 HP
Yeah.
and it's able to get past Dragapult attack, which is very good.
I think we just see the pass here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, we have to see some energy. I don't know if I'll
Yeah.
use the hands here. I feel like, yeah, we pass.
Yep.
We're hoping for some sort of energy surge
Yeah.
here. We need it pretty desperately.
Yep, another Drago can come down here.
Get some extra
more
energy.
energies. Yep.
Probably with fire grass here. Oh,
Oh, there's no
hold on,
grass.
hold on.
Or there's no fire because
There's
there's probably only two. One was used and the other one's probably in the prizes.
Has to be.
Yep.
And another fire in the prizes too, yeah? So it's got at least
Yeah.
one fire, at least one grass.
Yeah.
It's no fun.
Yeah.
Let's see what we're gonna have to draw here. Rod, that
Super
helps a
Rod.
lot.
That definitely does help a
Yeah,
lot.
definitely. So we're getting the energy back.
Yep.
Which is major.
Yep. Definitely. I do like
Um,
putting 3 energy back here. But
Oh.
the V-Star doesn't hurt too. I can definitely get down. I can get behind that.
And you know what? Actually, I don't know if we have a grass prized, but we definitely have a fire.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Odds are we're not even gonna see an attack from Sky here.
Yeah. E-switch is
E-switch.
nice.
Oh, maybe we will. Hold on.
Yep.
Hold on.
Research.
So all we need is an E switch. Oh.
Uh-huh. Oh wow! Never punished.
That was brutal.
There is an
man.
E-switch
Holy,
and a
the
fire
oh
energy.
my God.
No way.
Sky's just got it,
nuts.
man.
Wait.
Money Mario, I was wrong. Sky
Yeah.
is cooking, man.
Sky's
Holy
cooking.
moly.
If there was no V-Star, Sky could have just cured again.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Never
that's
punished.
nasty.
All right, I take back everything I said. Sky's the goat.
I mean, hold on. Oh, it's not cure him for game. I'm like, can we just cure him for game here? But no,
No, we
we're a
can't.
few damage
Unfortunately,
short.
we cannot.
We're like 50 short on the Palk and like 10 short on
Yeah.
on the bib. This is where Lucha goes nuts.
Yeah.
But we have a full bench anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh man.
Tony actually is in the kitchen cooking.
Yeah.
So we got the 60 plus the knockoff.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We got to see 2 more. Puts Sky at 2. Very dominating position. I mean, really
Yeah.
just puts Sky
Oh, yeah.
nearly in a checkmate here.
Definitely.
Though, I mean, I don't know. It has to be pretty. Oh, jeez.
Oh boy.
Probably the worst
The
Pokestop.
mill 3.
Mill 3, almost no energy and discard with triple superior in
Yep.
hand. Holy moly. I mean, this is just a deck just not working.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, even though we put him on stream one, we're just seeing Olive's deck fall apart here at the finish line.
Yeah. Unfortunate. But I wonder how much energy. There's not much energy.
What's that? What do you mean?
in the discard because like there's so
For
many.
Olive, there's 0, right? It's
No, there's a lightning and there's a water energy
oh,
in
okay.
there.
So we got something, but
Yeah,
honestly,
it's just
not a
like
whole lot.
not enough.
No, definitely not.
Yeah,
What is the move here?
yeah. I'm wondering if there's even like Baxcalibur like in the deck.
That's not. Yeah,
Yeah,
we already saw the one
I
hit the
know we got.
discard.
Yeah, I know like a Bax did get milled.
So we really are just giga thinning hand
Yeah,
for a desperation bib draw
yeah.
here. So we're going for the Irida. I mean,
Okay.
it's gotta be candy backs, yeah.
Yeah.
Assuming we have the one in deck. Hopefully we have the one in deck. Oh, we
Oh,
do.
there's
Okay,
candy
thank
backs.
goodness.
It's just like finding the energy now, right? That
Well,
to be able to like
we-
attack.
We've already Pokestops. So we're really just thinning our hand as much as we can to desperation bib draw.
Yeah.
So we got the 2 obviously from the
Yep.
Shivery Chill. We need what? 2, 3 more. 3 more?
Yeah, 3 more.
Okay.
Yeah, V-Stars take 5 energy to
Yeah.
get knocked out.
And not super unlikely.
Yeah.
But
And
what
then-
is the follow up after from both ends?
Yeah, for sure.
Assuming Olive can't get this KO.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that all of the E-switches have been used
Yeah?
now. Yeah.
All right. Well, then that means that this next V Star cannot, or if we do get the V Star down,
Yeah.
cannot attack next turn.
All right, so here's
we-
Rare Candy Backs. 2 energy on there. Okay.
For the 1,
Yeah,
yeah.
for the 1.
Puts her at 2, drawing 3 off the bib. Looking
Yeah,
for.
is there any other way to
don't
thin out the hand more?
No, or 1 card draw from a second superior.
Ooh,
Prime
Prime
and
Catcher,
Ninja.
Greninja. That's tough.
I mean, that's not great.
Yeah.
I wonder when we could just heavy ball for the sake of heavy balling, but we might want to discard that with the superior.
Honestly, I can see a play here where you kind of just like where you Prime Catcher the Drago V on the bench.
Mm-hmm. And just try and stall it out.
Yeah, try to
And
stall out a
not
little
bad
bit.
idea.
That could definitely be a play.
But then you're putting your bib. I'm assuming you're putting the bib in the active, which means
Yeah.
it's really, really a hard retreat.
Definitely.
And honestly, that getting knocked out is really your
Yeah.
entire engine here.
I think Olive's in a pickle here. Yeah.
Olive's Pickle's got a whole charcuterie
Yeah.
board over here, man. Holy moly.
Okay, Greninja come down.
Yeah, is it really just gonna be the superior for the 1 lightning for the 2?
That feels so
Jeez.
bad.
And dumping. Oh,
Yeah,
that's just not great.
I know, right?
Well,
Unless we
what are we hoping to see here?
draw into 2
Vessel?
energy.
Oh man, playing it close. I can't see.
No.
Or popping candy. No.
Popping Candy.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we
Okay.
go.
Yeah. That's
That's
unfortunate to see Olive
game.
go from a meme play to 3-0 and then just fall apart at the finish
Yeah.
line here. Unfortunate. But we do have a pretty good matchup looking over
Yeah.
here.
All
We
right.
see Elias with the first KO here. I'm assuming it was actually what could have been maybe a ninja play.
Yeah.
But we still see a Palk in the active here with Kev with no Zard on board yet. But we do see a Charmander active with energy, Charmeleon on the bench, and a pretty decent board setup.
Yeah, definitely. And I wonder what Kev's looking to do here, because I mean he is down on prizes right now. There's no easy way to get back on that 2 prize trade
No.
unless you pop like the Dusk Noir, or if you're able to get like a Defiance Band play or something like that. Ooh, what's Kev looking to do here?
He has Zard in hand. I'm assuming. Okay. Oh, so he
Ooh.
must have evolved Charmeleon this turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Do you think you could like counter catch or something here?
It's hard to tell with. Okay, so it's hard to map out Kev's play at the end of that turn,
Yeah.
not seeing how he started.
Yeah.
I feel like it must have been an evolving Charmeleon that turn, or else we would have had to see a Charizard
Yeah.
in play, right?
Yeah.
And that could have followed up with some sort of Dusclops play to KO the active. The thing though is, as the Zard player, if we get that Ninja EX in play, aside from Elias being on 2 or 1 prizes, that Ninja is sticking, and
Yeah.
that thing is scary. Being able to search out a card every turn, plus eventually 2-shotting a Zard,
Yeah.
dealing 170 per, which is brutal.
Definitely.
But we don't see that. We do see Kev setting up for the following turn, and we do see Elias trying to make the most of this next play. I mean, it seems like, to me, we could potentially get a Dusknoir onto the Charmeleon and gust up the Fez for a 3-prize play.
Definitely.
And that would be pretty sick. Or, even better, just scaling both Charmander lines.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
it's definitely possible.
Yeah, because it's interesting because that Charmeleon's Flare Veil protects it from damage counter related like attacks like
Mhm.
Sableye and stuff like that, and Dragapult, but doesn't protect you from stuff like Moonlight Shuriken.
And it's a perfect HP count for the ninja
Yeah.
too. It's pretty crazy. It's
Yeah.
sitting at 90.
I know.
No fun. But let's see. With Elias with the 2-card hand, he doesn't have a whole lot of options. It seems
Yeah.
like, oh, we're gonna Mew
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, probably just
Okay.
gonna go for the knockout here, right?
So, okay, it's very interesting why we elected to not Night Stretcher first. I feel like, I guess if you're going to Ninja for it, that's fine. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. We don't draw anything super crazy, though,
No.
unfortunately. Putting Elias at 3 is kind of scary because that opens up the Zard plus Deathbound play.
Yeah.
So, he's in a very awkward position right now, actually.
Yeah.
Is there a world? I'm assuming he's not playing a Dusclops in this deck. I'm assuming it's
I feel like
a 3-2 line.
I
A
think you
302.
do. I think you have to play it either way.
Well, if he is playing the Dusclops, I think you Ultra Ball or he is to the KO. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I think opening up the Deathband play for an opening for Kev to come back into this game is not the best.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe we could have just Ultra Ball for the Clops and evolved and gotten to Annoyer the next turn.
Yeah. I was about to say like Unfair Stamp would be a great card here, but
Yeah.
I mean he plays Trolley, so
He's
you
playing the
can't do that.
Trolley.
Yeah.
And that's the big debate, right? Like, while Trolley sets you up super crazy the first turn, I feel like Stamp is so nuts.
Yeah.
It's such a good card.
Yeah. I'm
And you can
kind of
make-
like
Go ahead.
iffy about that because I feel like Stamp is good until you play a deck that plays Fez.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
there's so many times, especially as a Zard player,
Yeah.
where you just go like Arvin for either Counter Catcher or Stamp, and then Quick Search the other, and then just go Gust, KO Fez, Stamp, and they're just out.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it's such a powerful play.
Yeah, and I
And
think
it's so easy to access as Zard, I feel.
yeah, and I think Kev ended up going with the Iono off of the quick search here.
Sure.
And I guess he's hoping that he can draw into the whatever it's called, the Defiance Band.
Or Dusclops.
Yeah, or Dusclops, yeah.
Actually, not even the Clops. You want to get the Neuer here.
Yeah.
Because then you can go Neuer, kill Froakie, knock out Pelk.
Yeah,
And they have no major attackers left.
definitely.
So we'll see how Kevin plans to navigate this. I'm really curious. There are
Ooh,
a lot of
counter
options here. So we're counter catching the Mew.
I do like the counter catcher play on the Mew, right? Because when you Iono, Mew's the only way that you draw out of anything, right?
Sure.
But if you take out the Mew, you can still stay on a even prize trade.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, this is pretty good.
I didn't see what his last few cards, first few cards is. Ultra Ball, Clops, Candy, Nest Ball. Okay. So that's very interesting.
Ooh, and he still has access to Fez.
Let's see what he draws here. And some pretty important cards, I feel.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to see it. Rod.
Rod, Ultra Ball, Defiance
And he
Band.
got the Death Band. That's great. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. That's exactly what he needed here. But he's going for the Mew anyway, so it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter.
I do like that too, just because he's able to get punched. The Zard will be able to get punched and not really get punished for it.
Definitely.
But being able to take out the Mew is
I don't
huge.
know. I mean, if Elias drew really well, we do have a Pelk Dust in our play to
Yeah.
knock it out.
Definitely.
I forgot what those numbers exactly are, but it should be more than enough.
Yeah.
We do see Candy Ultra Ball ready to go for the next
Yeah.
Zard when Kevin looks to do that. I'm not opposed to him setting up the next turn either, honestly. Just
Yeah.
dropping it. I'm assuming he has enough energy to get one more into play, so it should be fine.
Definitely. So yeah. So we see the Palkia come up here. Draw for turn. Ooh, rare candy Dusknoir. That's kind of crazy.
brutal, man.
Oh,
He drew the
man.
candy off the top too.
Yeah.
Holy moly! I thought it was
Yeah.
a Clops inhabit. It was a Neuer. That's insane.
Yeah.
Dump the switch. That's fair for
Okay.
the water. I think that's perfectly valid. And he
Yeah.
definitely paid off. You need to get the concealed cards here
Yeah.
for sure. With, I might add, a very spicy Lugia energy in hand. But that, oh man,
Ooh,
not
another rare
great as
candy.
far as the Ionos are concerned.
Yeah.
I don't know how valuable they'll be though. Oh,
Ooh, attaching
electing
that.
to attaching instead of concealing cards.
Interesting.
I feel like with the cards he has in hand, I feel like he probably should have concealed cards.
Yeah. I would
Having
think
the
so, too.
the absolutely dead Squawk is just a useless card, and you probably want to see another Noria or Ninja here.
Yeah.
Just to get it in play. So we are going to see
Yep.
the Zard getting knocked out here, but Kev does have the retort.
Oh, you know what? I think Kev is trying to bait this play to go for a Briar play.
Oh man.
Oh man, I think he could
Well,
do
no,
it.
he'd be at 1, so you can't Briar.
That's
no?
why you that's why you pop. Oh, he's at 1.
Yeah, yeah,
Never
yeah.
mind. Never mind.
Oh, that would have been brutal.
That would have been crazy. I know
Holy
Kev. I know
moly.
Kev's always looking for that.
Definitely. And it's something that I kind of neglect sometimes too.
Yeah.
Not so much on the player side, but
Yeah.
on the opponent's side. Like,
Definitely.
can he briar me? In some decks, I just don't really even consider it, honestly. But you're right. I mean, that was a good thing to play around here. But we
Yeah.
are going to pop the stops. So we're not digging even deeper.
Yeah.
If Kev can get like a Ultra Ball Evolve Iono, that'd be just sick.
Yeah. I think Kev, all he needs is he needs to put Dusknoir in play, and he needs to evolve into a Bibarel.
Yeah.
Because that Bidoof with the 70 HP cannot protect you.
That's true.
Or you can play Manaphy. Either one.
True.
Yeah, either one.
That's interesting. He's getting back those three, sure. That's fair.
Yeah.
And the Dusknoir is just not valid anymore, but getting it in play just for the sake of not getting Ninja is fantastic.
Right,
So I
see the
think
red
we do
candy.
have the potential of Kev being in a ninja-less or an unninja-able board here.
Yeah,
And with the Manaphy just makes it more.
definitely.
I think we could have done that without dropping Manaphy though. It may have been a more steps, but
Yeah, Manaphy is definitely an easier way to be able to, get that uncheckable board. But yeah, it's definitely hard because I mean, if Elias just rips another Dusknoir play, I mean, that's how he wins the game, right?
no. He can't actually, because Zard will put Kev at 1. He has more than enough to get this
Oh,
KO
that's
this turn.
true.
So it'll be whoever gets the next KO.
Okay.
However, if we could just get Ninja, it's over,
Yeah.
right? And I guess that's not true. We need Ninja Gust. Because with the Dead Squawk in hand, plus the 1 candy, not even Ninja plus saves you here.
Yeah.
It would have to be... I don't even know what it would be.
Yeah.
Is there even a winnable play now from Elias here? Now that Kev has this pretty beefed up board with Manaphy?
Yeah, I don't know. But did Kev play supporter yet?
No.
No? I feel like if Kev's able to draw into Iono here, that would be huge.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what that grabs.
Bid for 3.
Bid for 3. Ooh,
Can't play
no.
the fish.
Yeah, I can't play the fish. There's
Get
Turo.
the Turo.
Turo's kind of nice.
Honestly, is there... you could just turn up the Fez if we haven't
Yeah.
put a supporter this turn. Oh, we haven't even quick search.
Oh, you haven't
alright.
even quick search yet? You can just
I
grab
thought
Iono
we
here, right?
did. Yeah, you just gotta grab the
Yeah.
Iono, definitely.
Yeah.
Though, in hindsight, Elias's hand is already like the worst it could be.
Yeah.
So Ionoing honestly gives him a little bit of a better chance of getting something usable. Because
Yeah.
Squawk Candy is just not it right now.
Definitely.
And, well, I guess on Elias's hand, currently the candy is okay, but once he gets this KO, it's not.
Yeah.
And we
Oh,
draw that stretcher.
Stretcher.
So you could get the candy to get the 2 more cards. Definitely not completely out of it just
Yeah.
yet, but definitely not at a very good position. He already... Okay.
Yep. Fez.
No, he already Fez, no?
No.
No?
No.
I thought he did.
No.
I mean, I'm just missing a whole lot this turn. Holy
Yeah.
moly.
Yeah, he bibbed first.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. He bid for 3, not
Yeah.
Fez for 3. Thank you. So we're just going to see the clean KO here for 330.
Yeah, 330.
And it really puts Elias in a position where he can't really do a
Yeah.
whole lot. That Manaphy kind of locks him out here. Even drawing the stretcher. Actually, the stretcher would have been super crazy had he not played the Manaphy.
I know, right?
Holy moly. Yeah, so it seems like with that Manaphy on the board, it just kind of locks him out.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
definitely.
We could go into a sudden death. Not impossible.
Yeah, not impossible.
Not impossible.
Yeah.
But he would have to rip a crazy candy.
Yeah.
Or some ball search. And I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, man, I wonder how they're going to end this game off.
I don't know. I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like...
You probably promote the Greninja, right?
I feel like no matter what you do, because even if you get, like, Ninja EX into double
Yeah.
stretcher, brutal.
Oh, double stretcher.
Well, hold on. He's not completely out of it. So
Yeah.
hold on. So he stretches back at energy, draws 2.
Yeah.
Needs a candy.
Needs to hit the craziest 2 cards ever.
Like, he needs a candy to go sudden death.
Yeah.
That's what he needs.
Yeah.
because-
Or he can draw into Rare Candy Greninja EX. Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay.
hold on, this could be actually,
Ooh,
this is
I
some
like
cook- this
this.
is some
I
cookery.
actually like this.
This could be actually really sick. So we definitely Mew first. Definitely Mew
Yeah.
first, right? Because the stretcher's going to get you the energy for the ninja.
Yeah.
You're hoping for what? You're hoping for candy.
Yeah.
You're hoping for the candy. So you Mew for 2, hope for candy, stretcher back the Neuer, go to sudden death. And I feel like
Yeah.
if Elias goes first, he has a pretty good chance of winning in sudden death.
Yeah. Or if he's able to just get a Gust, period, right? If he draws into Gust, he can stretch it for energy. Gust Manaphy.
Holy moly,
Yeah.
man!
Yeah.
I'm like mega brain farting. Here. If he
Yeah.
can just KO the active.
Yeah.
He's good to go. Man,
If he's able to get Gust the Manaphy's enough.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So we hope for a god. It has to be boss.
Yeah,
to be
it would
boss.
have to be, yeah.
Goodness. Or Prime?
Prime Catcher? Yeah, Prime Catcher would get you there because like Mew has free retreat.
Mhm. Oh my goodness, this could be a crazy ending.
Yeah, so there's honestly, I feel like there could be no bad in just stretching for the energy, attaching it, and drawing 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, there could be merit to doing
I
that.
think that's the move.
Yeah.
Is there any merit though if you?
Oh, he
we'll
gets
see.
to
Oh
draw
yeah, I
Mew.
think. What does he draw? What does he draw?
Ultra Ball,
and Ultra Ball.
Vacuum. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sucked.
Yeah.
Um,
I wonder what the next card
it
would
has
have
to.
been.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Now he needs Ninja Boss.
Let's see if
Or
he
now
gets punished. Let's see if he gets punished for this.
Does he have fish in deck? Because
I
if he
don't know.
draws like energy fish or energy something, he Ultra Balls with the fish, gets boss attaches.
Yeah.
Right? Oh man, this is so wacky.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Oh,
okay.
he just.
Oh man,
Oh,
I don't know.
man.
I don't know. I think there could have been.
What's
some
the next card? What's the next card?
Okay.
Oh,
it didn't-
Bear.
It didn't matter. Thankfully.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
All right.
Thankfully,
Yeah.
we didn't see a boss or a way to get it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he plays fish. If he does, there was a play
I don't
there.
think that deck plays fish.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
All right.
yeah,
Well,
that was
a little bit of a lackluster ending to that one. I would have liked
Yeah.
to see a bit more of an extension to see if we could dig,
yeah.
even just to see it. Even if in hindsight we saw the top 3, didn't get it.
Yeah.
Who knows? There could have been some crazy stuff going down.
Yeah, but definitely heads up from Kev to be able to just like position his board that way to where it could take away that checkmate, that win con that Elias originally had.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That was a pretty crazy game. As when we first tuned in, it was a little bit different than how it ended up turning out.
Yeah,
That's good.
definitely. For sure. So we just want to thank everybody here for coming out to watch tonight's locals here at Nerd Rage Gaming. I mean, we do this every single Thursday at 6:30 Central Standard Time. If you ever want to come out to play here, we're out located in Buffalo Grove. There's our schedule up here, 6:30 Pokemon. And we don't only do Pokemon here, we do other games here. We do have like Magic, Digimon, One Piece, Lorcana, all of that. So come out to play if you guys want to. We do have a pretty nice case right now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I came in. Yeah, I saw some group chat posts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, so
we are juiced up.
we've
right now,
definitely
for
spent a
sure.
little bit of money in the case today.
If you need
so-
some bling staples, definitely come through soon.
Yeah,
There's
definitely.
a lot of goodies right now.
Yeah, so thank you everybody for coming through today and watching, and we hope to see you guys all next week, either in person or back on the stream. Talk to you guys later. Have a good night.